Tukaha, so T-U-K-A-H-A.
T-U-K-A-H-A, yep.
K-Y-R-I.
K-Y?
Yep.
R-I?
Yep. A-C-O-U.
A-C-O-U.
Okay, and then...
Tukaha Kirisua.
Kirisua, okay. Alright, do we have a queue in?
No, just when you're ready. Just go for it. We're all live.
Okay. Welcome here to our coverage of the Andrew Johns Cup here. I'm Zale Atkins, alongside me is Kian Kramer, and we are ready for this round 3 clash between the Penrith Panthers and the GSR West Tigers. The teams are in the locker rooms. We can hear them down there waiting to get underway and started with this one. Just going through the team list here for Penrith. At fullback from St Mary's, Bailey Lowe, the captain. On the wings, Jimmy Donnelly from Brothers and Patrick Nico from St Patrick. Two St Mary's centres, Jackie Pritchard and Sione Niufi. At 5'8", Carl Witten of Colleton. At halfback, Trent Barton-Shaw of St Mary's. In the props, Lafuale Taualpai of Brothers and John Sagaga of Minchinbury. At hooker, Ty Layson of Windsor. In the second row, Alfred Uelasi of St Mary's and Lachlan Whitehouse of Lower Blue, Aidan Len of Glenmore Park is at lock, and on the bench, Mason Teague of Hawkesbury, Larry Arken of Windsor, Byron Ayalupatea of Glenmore Park in the 22, and in 19, Tate Cranefield of Brothers. Teague in the 16 and Arkin in the 17. The 18th man is Philly Philo of Minchinbury, and their coach is Dave McKinnon. And for the GSR West Tigers, at fullback, Rory Muir of the Mittagong Lions. On the wings, Benjamin Payne of the Mossvale Dragons and Zach Jackson of the New Orleans Jets back after a week off. Salisa Tavui of Western Suburbs stays in the side at number 3, and at number 4, Poi Togamaga from the Campbelltown Collies at number 4. He's moved from 5'8" to the centres. At 5'8" is Braden Lee of Western Suburbs. At the halfback is Bailey Varga of the Mittagong Lions. In the front row, Jack Collins of the Mittagong Lions and Steve Malga from Liverpool Catholic Club. At hooker is Ethan Tutt of the Termere Tarmore Roosters. He's moved into the starting side after the omission of playmaker Cooper Smith, who was unfortunately injured last week. In the second row, Aidan Fisher of the Yappin Dogs and Jean Rapatoni of New Orleans Jets. At lock is Colin Martin of the Liverpool Catholic Club. He starts over the 14, Kavam Bishop of Ingleburn RSL, who's moved to the bench. And also on the bench, Jackson Hearn of the Camden Rams, David Eccleston of the Mittagong Lions, and Berta Carla of Western Suburbs. Ryan Bell of the Termere Tarmore Roosters is the 18th man. Their coach is Wayne Azzopardi. Our referee for this contest, Brett Abe, touch judges Connor Hibbert and Brodie Rushby.
Yeah, I'm excited for this, Zale. Should be a great game. Both teams had interesting results last week. The Tigers are in third place at the moment. They lost to Monero 22 points to 12. And the Panthers, they're in fifth place at the moment in the Andrew Johns Cup. Dragons defeated them 20 points to 10 last week. And I was there last week, Zale. I was actually commentating that game. And the Panthers did struggle. They just couldn't really compete them in size. And their skills weren't there to match them.
Indeed. The Panthers led out here by their captain, Bailey Lowe. You can see a few of their players walking out here. Ayla Patea there in the 22, and John Sagaga in the 21. He'll be starting, and the Tigers are led out here, led out by Jean Rapatoni of the New Orleans Jets. He had a pretty good game last week. You know, they are missing both their try scorers from last week. Fale Alasana is out. He's been replaced by Jack Collins as he comes back in. Jackson Hearn will be in as well, and he was in a bit of a grey area last week. We weren't sure he was going to be selected or not, but he's in for this one, and he should be having a good game for him. It's a pretty big front row getting a look at him, and he should be able to put us underway here. Looks like we're going to have a kickoff from the GSR, kicking right to left. It looks like it's Berta Carla there starting, so a couple of changes into the starting lineup as he will get us underway here. Or we are lined up in the back. We should be just about ready to get us underway with referee Brett Abe at the whistle. Penrith seem to be lining up in formation and looks ready. Whistle sounds and DeCarla gets us underway with a kick deep to the left side, and it's bumbled forward, unfortunately.
On the
Just off a kickoff there. That's very unfortunate there. You see Penrith immediately, they go to commiserate the man who dropped it, Trent Barton-Shaw. Never want to start off like that, and they'll hope to get some good momentum early with a scrum. About exactly 10 out from the Penrith line.
Bad area to start the match. It's not what you want. The Panthers in particular, they need to start off really strong against this side, because now they've got to set the Tigers 10 metres out from the Panthers try line. Let's see what they're capable of doing. Early stages in this match, of course, 30-minute halves. So first points on the board may come very soon.
They go for the feed out to the right side. They'll send it out from Mulvaney, then to Takala, who's playing in the centres, interestingly, but that's because they had Lisa Tavui's packed into the scrum there. We'll always tend to see that. Maybe you'll have a bumbling forward coming through. As now they go out through Rapatoni, who almost is over. Ball pops free, and then it's picked up there by Tut. Tut tries to go through and rule him short of the line there. That's only tackle 2 there, I believe, as they send it out. Now they're going to try and go over with a big front rower. Jack Collins of Mittagong, he almost gets himself over the line there, and he'll be down for tackle 3, just next to the post there. Tut at dummy half, he'll send it out to the left side, out through Braden Lee. Lee tries to go himself, was over. He's got through the tackle of Tauapai, and then he just put himself over the line. Touch judges rule it good, and the referee blows a whistle, and an early point. It's only a minute and a half into this match. The Tigers 4, Penrith nothing. Kick to come.
Oh, it was super easy, wasn't it? And all it took was a nice quick run there from Braden Lee. Just started himself, got in between a few defenders. I think the Panthers are still asleep. Early game, 9 o'clock. It's a bit different. We're not used to this.
Yeah, it's definitely an awkward game here under the clouds here of St Mary's. We are projected to not have any rainbow, thankfully, for this match. Even though it will be cloudy. Expected tops of 27 degrees during this game, and with a bit of an easterly wind blowing, but it seems to have started out from the north. So we'll likely see that converging towards the side that Jack Collins is currently kicking towards as he puts the boot through it and sends it through the sticks. 2:20 gone in this game, and already the Tigers 6, Penrith nothing. You've got to get out to a good start early. Perhaps try and get a good defensive set here, Penrith. Well, you'd always obviously want that. Maybe force an error and try and assert some attack early to get some points back.
I feel like they can do it. They just need a strong set here. Great defensive set, and anything's possible. I think, 3 minutes into this game, it just seems as though Panthers need to hold their head up high. I think if they get a good set in here, we'll see what they're capable of doing.
Yeah, that kick was almost looking for a sideline there, but it's only got about 20 metres on it. It was picked up out there on the wing, I believe, by Zach Jackson. No, sorry, that would be Benjamin Payne out there. They seem to be playing Jackson on the left wing here. As a whistle sounds, penalty here. That seems to be for offside, as the referee has the hand back. It'll be a penalty about 33 metres out from the Tigers' own line. This looks like Collins will be kicking for touch here. Should be able to find this no trouble being so close to that sideline. They advance about 12 metres. Referee seemed a bit far back with that 10 metres, but we'll be fine as they send it out there to, I believe that's the 13. No, it's not the 13, sorry, it's number 10, Steve Malga. Tight at dummy half, send it to Takala. Takala wrapped up initially by Sagaga, and Tauapai and Whitehouse did well to assist there in the tackle. Play the ball back. Yep, that was lost. Takala just couldn't get the ball down properly, and that ends up being an error there. Blocked against the Tigers, and now we're going to have a scrum feed to Penrith just 10 metres out from the halfway.
It's a careless error. Obviously, it's not what the Tigers would be after. A few errors tend to creep into these lower grade teams, and last week Panthers had a number of errors in their game, in their arsenal, and there's no doubt they would have worked hard at training to cut that out of their game. You know, his players aren't exactly first grade, but they're definitely going to be looking to get it in there in a few years' time as Penrith feed the scrum out and they run it first receiver with Whitehouse, who's wrapped up well there by Takala. That'll to his feet. They'll look to the right side and they'll go out to the centre there. That's Jackie Pritchard, and he's wrapped up with assistance from Fisher by Togamaga. Bit of a big 5'8" there, Togamaga. Well, he was playing in the halves last week, now he's in the centres as they run it up again for Sagaga. Tackle free there, 45 metres out from the Tigers line. They run it out through their lock Aiden Len, who gets a good run through. And he's wrapped up at the legs there by Rapatoni. Tackle 4 now. They play it out through dummy half. They go to the left side now to their half and Witten. And Witten's wrapped up well there. Assisted tackle from Collins and Tavui. And the last tackle, the referee has his hand raised. I'll go back. I'll look to the fullback, Bailey Lowe, who puts up a very high running kick. It's gathered there by Malga, and then a penalty is blown here. Seemed like it was Sagaga who was too far forward, and that results in a penalty being given away to the West Tigers. Well, Bailey Lowe should have put that a lot deeper than what he did. He just literally put it up high. Not much going on with the kick. And last week he injected himself quite well in certain areas in the offensive set. He was very switched on. He needs more of that this game.
Indeed. It seemed like they were just trying to go for a bit of a playmaker, try and catch him off guard, but it didn't seem like they were doing that. Speaking of catching off guard, Tut almost gets through there with a dummy half run, but is wrapped up well by Sagaga. Rapatoni puts the pass into Takala, and there is a call there for a pass. The referee has called it. Touch judge seemed to have got that one as he was jogging backwards. That's usual signal to say a pass went forward out of dummy half from Rapatoni. The scrum will pack right on halfway.
He was spot on, wasn't he? 7 minutes gone in this first half. 6 points nil to the Tigers, and it's anyone's ball game. Although the Panthers haven't really been into it that much, the Tigers, they've been all over them in certain patches of this match, and now the Panthers will have a scrum feed on halfway.
Pack it in. Looks like Witten will be the feed. Locke takes it out, and they go to Whitehouse once more. They tend to favour this first receiver run from him. He's wrapped up well there by Fisher and Tavui. They get up to their feet there. It's Layson in a dummy half. The third hooker in as many weeks here is, you talked about Amelia Bailey-Lowe, trying to inject himself into the offense. And doing so well as tackled there by Braden Lee. Plays the ball back. Donnelly takes a run out of dummy half. Lee almost got the hands to him, but he's ended up being wrapped up by Mauga. I'll play it back. Layson a dummy half. I'll go back to 7 and now to 8. That was Barton Shaw to Tauapai. Tauapai with a solid run, staying on his feet. Gets about 22 out from the line. Layson now. First receiver ball to Sagaga. Has Whitehouse on his outside with support, but he'll end up flicking the ball out. Ends up going to Len. Len almost gets himself through, but he'll get less than 10 out for the last tackle. Layson will look to his right. Would like to go for a left side play here, and does. Barton Shaw, dummies, tries to take it himself, but ends up being wrapped up. Yep. Referee does signal for a handover. There was a bit of a long whistle for it, but nonetheless, we have a handover here for the Tigers, about 5 out from their own line. Players move into the marker. You've got Ua Lacey there. As they take the ball out, they'll get 10 out. Good tackle from Layson. Picked him up well there. Wallace with Tauapai. They go out to Togamaga in the 4. But a penalty sounds here. Offside again. Panthers seem to be jumping up a bit too early here, a bit too antsy early, and they know there's a lot of pressure to try and get some, pinned in their own territory, but just moving a bit too fast.
Yeah, last week the Panthers did that a lot. They'd make an error and then give a penalty back straight away, and that's a lack of discipline that we tend to see in junior rugby league. There's a big effort there by Donnelly.
Yeah, Donnelly was able to keep that one back in play, just couldn't find the touchline, and then Lowe is able to take off, and they take the ball back. About 36 out from the Tigers line now. Big opportunity, and Donnelly for a great save there. And they go out through Sagaga. Sagaga with a little offload, finds the turf, but is picked up by Tauapai. Tauapai doing well here. Sends out another offload just before, and now it's a big takeoff run there from Ualesi. He hits the line with authority. And they're going to be about 12 out. It's a dummy half run initially, but then they go out to Len. Len tries to push through, but can't quite do so. They'll look to the right side. There's a little bit of space there. They think they have the numbers. I'll go out to Barton Shaw. Barton Shaw sends it to Whitehouse. Whitehouse in the center position, trying to get himself over the line, but the Tigers swarm. And the pack does well to keep him out. They play the ball back. Pritchard. Long ball out to Barton Shaw. Barton Shaw, short ball for Witten. Witten can't get through. Last tackle now. We'll play it back to Layson. Layson will look to his left side. Goes out to Barton Shaw. Barton Shaw grab a kick. It's a great kick. And out goes there Ualesi. Alfred Ualesi was very quick. Accelerated to that ball very well. And the whistle sounds for a try. Tigers 6. Penrith 4 with a kick to come and a big chance to equalise.
Very smart play there by Barton Shaw. The set before he ran himself on the 5th. He got tackled 3 minutes out from the line. This set, he was a lot better, directed traffic in fine form, put in the grubber kick, and then Ualesi dived over, and it was a perfectly weighted kick as well, Zale. I was very impressed with that play from the Panthers.
Yep, Trent Barton Shaw with the kick there. Great kick from the half from St Mary's. As it looks as if it'll be Bailey-Lowe again to take it. He's the only goal scorer for Penrith. They have only been able to score 2 tries. They'll definitely be happy to put one on the board here, especially at home in St Mary's in front of what is a primarily Penrith crowd here. Lowe has 2 points to his name. We'll make it 4 if he can make this. Tauapai and Whitehouse have the other 2 tries, and then I'll make another try for the forward pack with Alfred Ualesi. Also with St Mary's, good connection between the 2 players, especially at their home ground as they line up. Low kicks, and he's just put it to the right side. So it will stay Tigers 6, Penrith 4. Well, there's still a slight lead for the West. but we'll definitely see the Greater Southern Region team not relent with just a 2-point lead. I won't be just happy with that. I'll definitely look to try and push that later on and try and get some more points on the board. You can't be safe with just a 2-point lead in this game.
Look, it's very close at the moment. The Panthers are well in this match. They need this win. This is desperate times at the moment. I know it's only been 3 rounds, but they really need a confidence builder.
Well, they say it's only 3 rounds, but this is a 5-round tournament. Every win counts, and if you start like they do, you've got to win every single game you can if you have a chance of making the playoffs here. Don't forget, the top 2 from the Southern Pool will advance into the semi-final to April 7th in Dubbo, as Layson passes it out to Len, and he's met well by defenders. Collins, the primary wrap-up man there, pulls Tut up. Layson gives it to Barton Shaw. Barton Shaw with that little shovel pass to Len. He's wrapped up well there by the forwards, Tut, Fisher, and Collins in there as well. Collins has involved himself quite well so far. Sagaga, short ball to Hawapai, and gets through well. They get into Tigers territory on the last tackle. Layson looks to his left side, will pass there for Witten. Witten have a kick charge down, I believe. It's picked up there, still the last tackle here as Lowe puts the kick through. It's being chased by him to Carla there, though he was well positioned for that and is well wrapped up there with help from Donnelly. That's great play from the Panthers. Pulled them about 15 out when it was looking a bit desperate after the charge down kick. There's a good tackle there from Sagaga. They give it out to Togamaga short. Gets a good run in there, but good wrap up from Whitehouse. Togamaga gets to his feet, gives it to Tut. Sends the ball out again to Collins. He's involved himself well so far, as we've said. He's wrapped up there. Around the legs was Layson. You've got to involve yourself well there. As Collins gets to his feet, he plays it out to Tut. Tut goes himself. He looked to show and instead just chose to go. Last tackle there, around in the same spot where Panthers have their last set. We're in dummy half. Rapatoni had to back out of it. Deep kick from Varga is marked very well there by Patrick Nico. His first touch of the ball. Let's see what he can do with it. A little jink and ends up being tackled there by Malga. 25 outright in the center of the ground. Dummy half run here from the Ufi, and he gets through the line well. They're still wrapped up there by Rapatoni. Another dummy half run here from Layson. They've gone to that play again, and a good hit from Steve Malga. All clean there by the referee. Short pulse there for Sagaga once more. He tries to plow through Tut to Carla, making a good tackle there. They help each other out well. They pass it out for Barton Shaw. Barton Shaw with a little chip, and then Lowe is onto it. Lowe's going to try and beat Muir with another kick. Lowe is the lead man, and he'll get there. Did he get the grounding down? Hudge judges seem to think so. And it seems like Brett Abel thinks so. It's a try for Bailey Lowe, his first of the season. He now becomes the leading point scorer of 8 for the Panthers, and they take their lead. Penrith 8, Tigers 6 with a kick to come.
Well, what a kick, wasn't it? I mean, Barton Shaw, another halfback play right there that was just to the tee, perfection. It's exactly what Coach McKinnon would have drawn up. And then Bailey Lowe, captain's knock right there. Grubber kicked it through, deep, perfectly weighted, chased it, put the ball down, and that's what we talked about. He injected himself really well there. Very nice play from the Panthers, and it gives them the lead, 8 points to 6.
Yeah, and this time it doesn't seem like Lowe will be taking a kick here. It's Carl Witten of Colleton who will end up taking this one. It'll be the first other Panthers goal kicker, but still, Barton, Shaw, and Lowe. They're using those grubber kicks very well. We saw it for their first try, and now they do it again. They'll definitely look to those grubber kicks later on. They think they've seen a weakness in this Greater Southern team, as Witten will put it, it just hooks away to the left. Unlucky for him there. It'll be Penrith 8, Tigers 6. With about halfway through this first half. Still we'll get to see the Tigers. We said they won't relent, and it doesn't seem like they're going to. Still 45 minutes to play in this match, and they're going to look to really put the pressure on now, especially being down like that. The call will be from the trainers. Get out there, play hard, play fast, and don't let the Penrith get down in that area ever again.
What I really like about that play was that they went short side, so it's a bit different. They usually spread the ball out wide. This time, Bailey Lowe read it well. They obviously had the play drawn up throughout the week, and they just executed it perfectly.
Oh, that was almost dropped there, but they're able to hold on to that one. The ball has popped free now. It's still play on. Rapatoni will pick it up for 0 tackle here, 20 out from their own line. And now they forced him there and created some pressure. Tavui will go himself, almost gets through the line there, but is tackled by Uelisi, the initial try scorer. Uelisi Plays the ball back for Tut. Tut will go short side. They try and go through to Carla. He tries to push through, but it's just held out there by the Penrith defence on that left side. Long ball out. Malga. He looks like he's got the numbers to try and push himself through, but is pulled up short. Tackle free, I believe it is now. Might be 2. Malga plays it back for Tut. Gives it out to Fisher. The line shot off well, though, and they're going to bring him down 5 out. Now a big opportunity for West to try and push it to the left side through Lee. Lee, long ball out, but it's ended up being spilled out, and they'll let it go free. Just unlucky there. Zach Jackson couldn't reach that Lee ball, and it ends up causing a scrum for Penrith.
It was a tough pass to throw as well. I mean, he was halfway in the field, decided to throw a cutout pass, and it just wasn't on. Jackson couldn't get his hands on it, way too far in front. But you got to hand it to him, trying something out of the normal. It reminds me of a young Tim Smith in 05 for the Eels.
Yeah, Tim Smith. We did see that actually against him. I believe it was from the 18s, though. Jordan Potter scored a very similar try to that, though, with the cutout ball there. Got to see that one was quite well. You can actually watch the highlights of that one. And so tweet on Country RL as we see there's a good run here from Uelese. Is breaking through and Weir's tracing him down. They will be able to get to him, it seems. But he ends up just going down there. Tavui gets on top of him. They're going to have to slow this one down here. Try to play it a bit too quickly there. Layson, has a ball knocked out of him by Tavui. Whistle sounds here. It's gone out. And Tavui will be very happy with that one, being able to force an error after a big line break from Uelese.
Well, that was an absolute bone cruncher of a tackle. Came out there brilliantly, put Leeson on his back, and it's going to take him a while to recover from that one.
Well, he seems to be up and okay, thankfully. A little bit ginger, but we'll be okay, it seems. You know, Tavui, you have to give him credit there. He stayed in at marker. He was watching. He was ready for that dummy half run there, and he just absolutely belted in, calls a ball to come free, and now the Tigers get a big let off there, really. Almost a reprieve after a line break from Uelese. Now they get an opportunity to push forward. Good play from Uelese so far. I've seen great play from the forwards. Collins out of GSR. Now they go out to Nguyen. Now to Jackson. Jackson tries to take on Donnelly, but he's wrapped up well. They get up there. Tut takes a little dummy half run, goes to Togamaga, and gets a good push through though. 35 out from their own line. Tut gives it out to Malga. Malga tries to get through, but was wrapped up well at the legs there by Layson. He's been good with his tackling technique. Now we go with Rapatoni, who's also hit hard there by Uelese, involving himself well on both sides of the ball here. Plays it back for Tut. Tut goes out to Lee, who puts a spiraling kick through. Donnelly was positioned a bit far forward for that one, so Lowe has to go back and retrieve it. Tries to get past Tut here, sends a ball out there for Nico. Nico jinks around, looks to go out more towards the centre of the park. And he's just able to be wrapped up there by Kavan Bishop, who's come on. I believe he's come on there for Connor Martin. He was, they may not be saying. Also on is Jackson Hearn, currently number 15 for GSR. They push up for tackle too there. Hearn involving himself in that tackle with Braden Lee. Layson gives it out there for Tawapai, and he tries to push through, but is tackled just about 30 out. Good tackle there from Collins and Rapatoni. They pass it back. They go again through the forward line, but it's Jackie Pritchard there taking a run of the forwards. Tackle 4 there now. Layson takes it out of dummy half, sends it out there for Tate Cranefield of Brothers. That's his first touch here in the Andrew Johns Cup. Layson takes the ball out, gives it back off to Barton Shaw. Kick was charged down there by Collins and ricochets backwards, was knocked backwards there. And there's a whistle sounding here. Seems to have... Oh no, it's a penalty here to Penrith. I believe that was for offside. Looks like Muir is having a bit of a talk with the referee Brett Abe about that one. Just explaining it there. Might have actually been for a strip of the ball there with a signal. Not sure if I could tell he was facing the other side of the broadcast booth. As Lowe sets up to kick for touch, 35 out.
I think you'll find it was offside, I believe, which is actually quite a good call, but it was a scrappy set, wasn't it, from the Panthers? They're lucky to get away with that penalty.
Well, they still got a good distance out of it. It was really just a charge down kick from Collins that stopped them from being able to pin them deep. As Layson waits, takes a tap now, gives it out there for Larry Arkin, who's come on. The third interchange, I believe, for Penrith, as they play it back for Layson. Layson will send the ball out to Tawapai, and Tawapai almost is able to push through tough there, but is able to be brought down just short of the line there with the help of Bishop. Decoy run there. Witten will send it out. Barton Shaw with a little inside ball there for Pritchard, but Pritchard should be able to be wrapped up there by Hearn and Fisher. He plays it back for Layson. Layson gives it out to Witten, but goes short side with the ball. Witten almost breaks through there, but Bishop with a good wrapping tackle up there. He'll play it back. A little jink from Layson. He tries to go through Fisher and Weir. He will be held up though. It seems like the referee actually called for time off there. I'm not sure if that was correct or not. I believe they shouldn't call for time off, but nonetheless held up. And Layson will have to go back 10 out. Now for the number 19 there, Tate Cranefield. He almost pushes through on the last tackle, but can't quite get there. He plays it back for Layson. Layson, the ball goes right past Witten, and they shoot out their GSR. They seem to have this wrapped up. I don't believe they got the touch yet. 6 tackles. It was taken by Witten, and he just had to fall down there, take the tackle, and ends up giving the ball to GSR. 25 out. Big chance to force a repeat set. Ends up going missing.
Smart play by Leeson at a dummy half as well. Caught the defenders napping, and was a really smart play. And then Witten, obviously the ball went backwards. It wasn't what they would have liked, the Panthers, and they lost about 20-odd metres on that set. So it's giving Tigers great field position.
Yeah, also credit the awareness of Weir and Fisher to be able to get that one. Speaking of Weir, he steps into dummy half. They go to Kavan Bishop. He was did well in defence on that last set, definitely helping the Tigers keep out points and trying to make sure they don't let that lead extend out to 6 or 8 points. Varga out to Lee. Lee looked at Togomaga. Togomaga was a bit too far forward for the pass. He decides to go himself past Barton Shaw. Now sends a pass out to Togomaga. Togomaga gets past Whitehouse. Fends off Barton Shaw. Tries to get through a challenge there, but he's ended up being tackled there by Larry Arkin. Eccleston has stepped into the game here. He's going to step into dummy half. They go to Lee. Lee puts up the high ball, looking towards Nico and Lowe. Oh, shooting through there was Benjamin Payne, but he couldn't quite get fingertips to it. He gets himself involved in a tackle, though. Tackle one there for Penrith on the far side of the ground, 22 out. They go for another dummy half run. They'll end up getting about 30 out now. That was a good dummy half run, though, from Niufi. Hasn't involved himself much, but still had some good touches. They go to Cranefield, and Cranefield tries to get himself through the pack. Can't quite do it. Good tackle around the legs from Bishop. And Lee on the other side. They go out to the Whitehouse. And he almost goes through the entire line there. Ends up getting off Martin and Hearn. Whitehouse plays at 40 out. He'll pass it back there for Pritchard. Overball didn't look too solid there. He ends up playing it 30 out. That's Pritchard. They go to Witten. Witten with another grubber kick. They try this play before. Witten will just go himself. But it's picked up by Togomaga, and he does well there to pick it up 11 metres out from the Tigers' own line. And we are short ball, and they run into Lowe there. Just a hard shot from both of them. Good collision between him and I believe that was Rapatoni. Might have been Jackson Hearn. No, sorry, neither of them. It was Connor Martin who made a run. It's now Tigers on tackle 3, that time through Hearn. Eccleston in dummy half. They go out. I think that's Collins. Still in the game here. Good running here from the forward. He's kept himself in the game well. Plays it back to Eccleston. Eccleston to Bishop. Bishop tries to go through Layson, but Layson got down to the ground well and wraps him up. Sagaga in support. Lee steps around, looks for a 40-20, but Layson was able to pressure him well, and the kick is built by Lowe. Was just up in the sky for a bit too long, spiralling well, and that ends up giving the Greater Southern Region West Tigers a scrum feed 30 metres out from the Penrith line.
Well, he's had a great game so far, Bailey Lowe, and that was just a little bit of a hiccup, and otherwise dominant performance, I would say. It's look, captains can do it, anyone can do it. Unfortunately for Bailey Lowe, it's not the right place to drop a football when you're 30 metres out from the line, and then just in Tigers' case, they're pretty happy with where they are right now.
I would be as well. You know, you've got a good chance to put some pressure on, especially with only 5 minutes to go in the half. They have Eccleston in at lock. They go out to Martin. Martin almost pushes through there. A good tackle from Layson. 21 out from the line. Eccleston will go short side here. Goes out to Togomaga through Lee, and Lee almost pushes through. Sorry, Togomaga it was. It was wrapped up well. Held up by Whitehouse. Eccleston now goes out to the halfback Varga, and now Bishop almost wrapped up there by Sagaga, but Bishop is almost escaping the tackle there of Layson. Let's go through. Eccleston goes out of dummy half, will try and go himself, but it looks to be held up. The watch judges look uncertain. Referee has a call and he looks okay with it. He's saying try, and it will be for David Eccleston. He pushes through the line well. The Tigers retake the lead 10-8 with a kick to come in front of a post. We should be looking at 12-8.
Oh, smooth scoot there from Eccleston. It was lovely as well because the Panthers weren't getting back, and he sniffed that out really well. His vision, his eyes lit up, got the ball out of dummy half, ran himself 10 metres out, scores a try, and that's what you want from a hooker, and especially a hooker coming off the bench who can smell and work out which defenders are tired.
Yeah, Eccleston and Tutton, Cooper Smith as well, who is unfortunately not in this game. Those three have put in some stunning dummy half runs and have really used that to their advantage in their game against Monaro. They've done it well here, as Collins will line up for his second goal here. Looking to put them up 4 points. I definitely want that. You know, Penrith, they looked a little bit weary in defence here. A few hands on hips as they look at the kick as it's lined up. It's not coming through quite yet. As Collins backs himself here. Should be able to hit this one through, being right in front of the post, and does so well. It'll be Tigers 12, Penrith 8 now with 3:18 left on the clock. Now we'll probably see 2 or 3 more sets. Bailey Lowe, he's going to definitely look to bounce back because his error ended up creating that Tigers try. He needs to put in a good kick here. We saw him go a bit short last time, looking for the sideline. He might try and do that again. As they line up. Ooh, looked as if Lacey went a little early there, but nothing is called against him. There's a wrap up there. Good tackle from Sione Naufi. Crowd seems to have quietened down after that West Tigers try, as Naufi again wrapping up, this time on Kavan Bishop. Bishop will play it back for Eccleston. Eccleston goes out there. They go second receiver here with Hearn. Hearn is wrapped up well at the legs by Layson, and the tackle comes through there from Cranefield and Whitehouse. He plays it back. Eccleston out to the right side now. Goes through Varga. And a good attempt at run there. I believe that's from Tavui, but he can't quite get through. Eccleston sends it out for Varga. Varga puts a deep kick in. Lowe is running back for it. Lets it bounce. He'll trail down about 5 out. Then he picks it up, runs into his own in goal, but has the safety of it. There's no real pressure on him at the time, and he gets through up 20 out. Tackle from Rapatoni and Weir. Dummy half run here for Patrick Nico towards that right side. And he ends up being tackled 27 out there. Good tackle there from Poi Togamaga. Oh, there's a little bit of a fend off there, but they just say call him back. Play it where you need to. And another good run here. That from Ginny Donnelly. Good run from the brothers winger. Tackled there by Braden Lee. Plays it back for Layson. Layson goes out to a short Cranefield. Cranefield wrapped up there by Bishop. Collins in at second marker. Plays it back for Layson. Layson short to Sagaga. He gets past the tackle of Bishop and Rapatoni and Hearn. Sorry, not Hearn. Eccleston have been in to wrap him up. 30 out, last tackle. Ty Layson sends it left side to Trent Bartonshaw. Bartonshaw for Chip. But it's well read there, and Payne is able to get to it well. This tackle there by Bartonshaw, less than a minute to go now. Rory Weir will take it out of dummy half. He's going to look to try and get past to a Lacey, but he can't quite do that. He's tackled quarter of a way down the ground. He plays it back to Vui with a dummy half run. He tries to go through there, and he's just wrapped up there well by Arkin, who's done well defensively so far in his tackles. Plays it out for Varga. Varga to Hearn, and Hearn is wrapped up well by Whitehouse, lacing in there as well. He ended up finishing off that tackle. Eccleston sends a cutout ball there for Varga. Varga tries to go himself there, can't quite get through. 22 seconds left on the last tackle for the Tigers. Plays it back Eccleston. Eccleston to Lee. Lee will probably look to find touch here, but instead just look to penetrate deep. Lowe takes another fall this time, a good take that time round. He tries to go through, but can't quite go through. And is wrapped up there by Martin and Togamaga. 5 seconds left. We'll get one last play here, Penrith. And they play it out for Cranefield. He'll be tackled here on the siren. They make a tackle there with Togamaga and Bishop in the half ends. It's been an exciting one so far. Some good scoring from both sides. Currently the score of the GSR West Tigers 12, the Penrith Panthers 8. The home side will definitely look to come back in the second half, as we see them come off and into the sheds. It may stay out here definitely some good tries scored. We saw Bailey Lowe score one for Penrith, as well as one, I believe, from number 11, Alfredo Alisi. We haven't got it written down here. And then on the GSR West Tigers side, we saw a try for number 16, David Eccleston. Also the first one, though, I believe he was scored by number 8, Jack Collins.
It was a great half, wasn't it? I mean, Tigers are up 12 points to 8. They've probably looked the better side, but in patches, Panthers were pretty switched on. They knew how to counteract what the Tigers were throwing at them. But it's going to take them a little bit more to get back into this game, and I think a nice halftime talk by Dave McKinnon should do the trick.
We'd like to take this time to thank our sponsors and partners here at the Andrew Johns and Laurie Daley Cups. Our major sponsor, SLE Worldwide Australia, our broadcast partner here at Bar TV Sports, and our partners at Anytime Fitness and Victor Sports. This is Dale Atkins and King Kramer. We'll be back with the second half in just a few minutes. And welcome back to the second half of the Andrew Johns Cup tie here at St Mary's League Stadium. Currently the GSR West Tigers are heading out of the locker rooms after taking an early 4-point lead, 12 points to 8 here. As now out come the Panthers, led out by their captain Bailey Lowe. Got a good try early on, but they'll definitely look for another one out of him with 4 points to go. They need them, and especially if they want to get Owen out of that 0-2 start and possibly make a late playoff run. Currently they sit in 5th position with the GSR West Tigers with a prime opportunity here, especially to get some points. You know, they sit with a -2 point differential with 2 points to their name, 1-1 after their loss to Monaro and the win over Riverina. Don't forget that currently going on simultaneously, along with this game, two other, they'll actually be played later on here. This is the early morning game here, the Southern Pool matches. We have the Monaro Colts. They'll be taking on the Riverina Bulls at Wagga Wagga at noon. And at 12:40 p.m. at Fig Tree, we have the Illawarra South Coast Dragons taking on the Western Rams. Top of the table clash. One of those teams almost guaranteed to go 2-1. As we get things underway here, Lowe sends the kick again short into the right side, but it's too long on that one. And Brede will whistle a penalty to the GSR West Tigers out on the full. A bit too far there from Bailey Lowe, and now an opportunity for West Tigers to hit back and get some early pressure going.
He knew it too. Out of the halftime talk, straight to a penalty gifted to the Tigers. And you know what? It's a coach killer, but he'll learn from that. These kids are young, don't forget. And Bailey Lowe's had a great game.
Yeah. We're definitely going to see them learning from these experiences. We saw in the Laurie Daley Cup game last week between Monaro and this West Tigers side. 7 incorrect play with ball penalties. They'll definitely be cracking down on that. The West Tigers later on is on tackle 2 here. They go to Collins once more. Penalty sounds here. Looks like it was another offside penalty. Less than 20 out. Eggleston will look to take the tap here. As he'll give a short ball out to Bishop. Bishop tries to go through, but can't get past Cranefield. He's wrapped up about 10 out. Now they go out here to Eggleston from dummy half. He's got to try just late in the half with that one, but can't get it this time round. Bishop sends it short side, going out through Martin, but he can't get through there. We'll wrap up here from the Panthers, excuse me. They've definitely had some good defense on the goal line. Even though it has gone through a couple times. There's a run from Varga. Almost lost that one there. Cranefield was reaching for that one. They'll end up playing the ball just on that left side of the St Mary's ground. Lee tries to run across, dummies to win, then offloads to him. Almost tries to get through Witten, but can't quite do that. But he does get the offload out to Eggleston, who gets past the Gaga and almost through their last tackle. Good hold up there from Alfred Uelisi. You play the ball back. Lee has Witten shoot out at him. A little kick him with offside. The kick is too deep and Lowe will run it back for a 20-metre restart. Big opportunity for the Panthers here after that grubber kick goes out over the dead ball line.
Well, here we go. Here's a chance for the Panthers, as you said, Zale. But more importantly, I feel like that kick there by the Tigers should have gone up high, because they don't do a lot of it, but I feel like they've got the height advantage over the Panthers, and a few points could be put on the board with some nice, silky smooth opportunities.
Perhaps there's just not a lot of trust in their wingers. You know, Benjamin Payne and Zach Jackson weren't playing last week. We didn't see a great play out of Braden Antoine, even no discredit to him. He still had some good touches. As that ball ended up being lost forward there from Tate Cranefield. Collins was there in the tackle, but he just put the ball down too quickly, and that ended up resulting in a loss of ball error. And now a scrum to the Tigers. Looks like Eccleston will be lining up at lock with Braden Lee to feed it. More boys had to line up there as one of the trainers for Penrith runs on. It looks to be a problem with Cranefield, I believe. We're just having him kneel down and getting a look at him. It should be okay. Just probably having a talk to see if he'll stay on here, or they'll need someone else to come in for him. As Lowe just brings some of the boys out of the scrum, gives them a quick chat, makes sure that they know what's going on here. Some quick planning. They're huddling up here. Time is still running, don't forget. 26:26 remaining. Only about 3.5 minutes gone. It looks like Cranefield will be staying on here. They pack in the scrum. There's a feed. Eccleston is at lock, and he gives it out. Went from Varga to Rapatoni. Is tackled just short of halfway. Little dummy half run here. It's a good run here from Tavui. So he almost got through, but ended up being tackled by someone who I believe has just come on here, Mason Teague. And oh, that ball's lost there. Just look away for a second and you'll miss that one. John Rapatoni ends up losing the ball, and that'll be a scrum feed now to Penrith. 35 out from their own line.
It was another knock on, but these errors will creep in the second half. They had a hard-fought first half, hotly contested, and now the second half, we'll start seeing a few things happen that the coaches won't be too happy about. Whichever team can cut that out of their game, I think they'll go a long way to winning this one.
Yeah. Currently the Tigers do hold a 4-point lead, but they're currently on the defensive. They low try of a little shovel pass, but it ends up spilling out forward. Just talk about, cutting out the errors of the game, and that play just not working out for them. Bishop runs out of dummy half and almost gets himself through there, but a good tackle there from Pritchard. Assisted there from Barton Shaw. Eccleston gives it out to Collins. Collins, well tackled there by Sagaga. Got around the legs there. Collins will play it back for Eccleston. He'll look to the right side, goes out to Varga. Varga shovel pass back to Eccleston. That ball ended up spilling loose. And that will be credited as a knock-on against Elisa Tavui. That'll be a scrum to Penrith. 20 in from touch, 30 out from their own line. And, we're definitely seeing it fought around this area, which really seems to benefit the Tigers, not only with their lead, but also just for territorial advantage.
Well, they continue to put themselves in a good position, but then they just lose the ball. So even though they're up by 4 points, at the moment, it seems like they're pretty safe. Obviously, 24 minutes to go in this second half. At the moment, it's anyone's ball game. But the Panthers, I'd like to see a bit more ball movement through their back rowers. They've worked really well together in this match, and I think they can consistently do something with the football in hand, and that's what I'd like to see.
Good run there from Pritchard, as we saw. Barton Shaw looks a dummy and instead goes out to Donnelly. Donnelly trying to take off down the right sideline, but is wrapped up well there on that edge. I believe it was Zach Jackson making the tackle. There goes second receiver Cranefield. Cranefield wrapped up there well by Collins and Bishop. I'll get about 26 out from the Tigers line. An opportunity to tie the game and take the lead with a goal kick. There's now Tawapai. Come back on and does well. Put them 15 out. Go out again. Teague was in dummy half there. Ball was just a bit too wide there for Uelisi, and it's picked up there by Niufi. Now it's the last tackle on that left side. 6 out from the line. Niufi trying to push out through. Gives the ball off. Uelisi will try and just go through himself, but it's just going to be short. They will be pinning, but it's still going to be a change over here to the Tigers. Panthers will definitely look to put some pressure on, but that could result in some offside penalties if they go too hard on it. They need to bring it out here. They bring it out through Bishop, and yep, they shot out too quickly, and that was a problem. You can't do that, and when you're looking to create pressure, you need to make sure you don't take off too quickly, and there was Niufi, I believe, but ended up giving a penalty away. Lee will kick for touch here. He sets the ball down. Seems to just set himself here for this one. As I'll likely have it about 20 out from their own line on this set that they earned off the penalty.
I will say this, Bailey Lowe, just off that offside play, he's instructing his players, get back in the line, and that's what a captain needs to do. He reminds me of Matt Moylan. He's got a bit of a stature like Moylan. I feel like he can do the same sort of things as Moylan, what we've seen so far this game anyway, and last week. So I'm very impressed with how Lowe's playing and how he's instructing his players and directing themselves.
Perhaps it's a bit of a system there they have at Penrith. Of course, Moylan, former Penrith player, and I believe now playing 5'8" for Cronulla. As we see a good run here from Connor Martin, almost is able to get through Mason Teague, but that time he's just tackled. He makes his way into Panthers territory here. Goes out to Bishop now. Is wrapped up well by 3 defenders, primarily one Tauapai. They get themselves up. Eccleston will go left side here through Lee, who puts in a high ball. Lowe's underneath it, seems to be weighting it well. Does well to take it, 10 out from his own line, and skitters out. It's wrapped up by Togomaga. And they make their way back to him. I'll go to the left side now with no attackers on that right side, as they seem to be getting some good penetrating runs now. Perhaps they're building up to something. There's Nico taking a hit up here on third tackle, wrapped up there by Hearn. Bishop round the legs there. I'll play it back for Teague, who's come on for Ty Layson and is taking that dummy half spot. Here's Iolu Patea, I believe it is. Might be Sagaga in that jersey. As he plays it back for Teague. It was Sagaga with that run. Is now Cranefield. Send that a almost miracle offload. And Malga had an opportunity to grab it, but it ends up being taken by Teague for the last tackle. Low end dummy half. And then a good kick from Button Shaw. Didn't get too much on it, but it skitters down there to Zach Jackson. This is wrapped up there by Iolu, who has come on. And they're able to get a tackle 20 out from the Tigers' own line. Tackle 1 here. Muir goes out of dummy half and doesn't get much meters on that one. Tackle 2 here. I'll send it left side for Togomaga. He's wrapped up there on tackle 3. Good tackle there. Was held up a bit there by Tawapai. Another dummy half run. This time it's Tavui. Tavui almost gets through there. Got through the tackle of Teague, but ends up being wrapped up. Now Eccleston sends it to Malga. Malga had a bit of a hole, but has that closed up there. Good tackle there from Teague and Tawapai. Last tackle now. 40 out from the Panthers line. Lee gets a good kick away towards Low again. Just missed that one. Did he touch it? He did, but it went backwards, so it's fine there. Play on. So now we get to see Low dragged back there. Eccleston, Lee and Varga, Verhaals and Hooker in the tackle. Good work from the spine of the Tigers. There's almost a run there through for Nayufi. Is wrapped up there by Bishop and Malga. Who'll be called back there for a play for ball, just advancing too much on Bishop. Takes it back. Crowd seems to be riling up here as tackle made. And now Teague with a little breakaway. He's through. He's got the fullback to beat, but he's on the other side of the field. He's got to get through there, but he's wrapped up only just. What a tackle. That was Connor Martin who ended up making it. Rory Muir's off the field currently. Bailey Lowe sends it out. Goes to Bartonshaw. Bartonshaw, short ball, Iolu Patea. He's almost through there, but Hearn is able to wrap him up. Good tackle there. Martin in support. Plays it back. Goes short to Sagaga. Sagaga plows over the line. And it's over. It's a tied game now. The try is sounded. Whistled for by Brett Abe, and a good try for John Sagaga off a great breakaway from Mason Teague. Currently the score tied up at 12 between Penrith and West, with the kick to come from Bailey Lowe.
Well, how sensational was that by Teague? A lovely bit of work, broke the line, scooted himself. The crowd was calling for offside, and I believe they were, but Teague sniffed it out perfectly, kept running. He didn't stop either. Got himself 3 minutes out from the try line, and from there you thought it was going to be a try, and it absolutely was. Panthers 12, Tigers 12, kick to come. You can thank Mason Teague for that one. Beautiful work.
Yeah, John Sagaga, was the man who will score the 4 points and be credited with it. But Mason Teague, man, what a run from him. You know, and also big credit has to go out to Connor Martin. He was coming down, careening from the other side of the field to be able to make that stop. As we see a few more interchanges here. I believe David Eccleston is coming off here, I'm not sure. But nonetheless, more interchanges being made on the sidelines as Lowe puts the kick up and through, which gives Penrith the lead here. A big opportunity now. Penrith 14, West Tigers 12. GSR West Tigers, that is. And the Panthers with a 2-point lead. It's slim. I'll definitely look to be holding on to that one, though, as the Tigers get set for a kickoff with 17 minutes to play.
Well, they need this win, the Panthers. It's that simple, and they're up by 2. Let's see if they can hold the lead. There's a lot of time remaining. The Tigers, they're just got to hold their head up high and think to themselves that we're capable of scoring some points here. And they really are. I think the Tigers have been the better side in the first half. Second half's a different story, though. The Panthers, they're working out their opportunities. They're working out how to put the ball over the line, and they've done so.
Yep, they saw it there with another dummy half run from Mason Teague. Been doing well with that so far. It looks to be, I think that's Braden Lee there. Yes, it is, setting up for the kick. Don't forget that you can catch all of our games here from the Andrew Johns Laurie Daley Cups live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on our website, crlnewsouthwales.com.au, as we get back underway with play. A good one from Alfredo Alesi. A bit of a second effort tackle was made there, but Well, it didn't seem like the tackle was completed from Payne. There's a run across from Nico, gives it out to Buttonshaw. He's wrapped up there by Lee. Teague passes it back there, goes to Len. And a good tackle from Mauga and Tutt. Crowd is bang for offside. That one was fine. Witten almost gets through, almost gets past Eccleston. You can see Lowe directing traffic currently. Looks like they're going to go out for a play to Len, and they do so. And he gets through there. Sends an offload back to Lowe. Lowe looks to pass it back. Last tackle there. Perhaps put the ball down a bit early. Passes it back for Witten. Witten to Bartonshaw. Bartonshaw ball out there to the wing with Donnelly. Donnelly inside the 10. Donnelly almost through there. He's over. What a try for Jimmy Donnelly. Gone through the tackle of Togamaga and puts it down beautifully. And now Penrith with a 6-point lead and a big chance to make it 8 here. Penrith 18, the GSR West Tigers 12.
Well, again, it was Barton Shaw. He needs to step up this game. Obviously, them losing last week to the Dragons, but he just did it then. Lovely cut-out pass, found Donnelly. He had a lot of work to do, but he's a good winger, and you could see that there. Tossed it out of a few tackles, put the ball down, turned himself inside out. Lovely put down in the corner post. And Panthers, well, they've got a hard kick now. They need this conversion, put them 8 points in front. And that might be signed, sealed, delivered. You'd think at the rate the game's going at the moment. It's just been all Panthers.
Yeah, currently we do have a player down here. I'm not sure who it is. It might be Poi Togamaga, who was just beaten on that tackle. It was unfortunate there. Could have had him wrapped up, but some great moves from Jimmy Donnelly of Brothers to be able to score that try. Seems to be walking back into the huddle, which is a good sign here. As Bailey will line up. About 25 out and almost right on the touchline. It looks like a player is going to the sideline. The injured Tigers player. I believe that might be Zach Jackson actually. We'll just get word on that later on as Lowe lines up. He just takes a few steps back. See the routine of goal kickers. You'll always see it. Tend to take just those ginger steps back and make sure that they're kicking from the right spot. Yes, clutching the left shoulder there. That's the issue with the Tigers player as Lowe looks to get ready here. Takes a step back, lined it up. Puts the boot through it. Does he have the distance? He does not, unfortunately. This is change number 9. This is John Rapatoni coming back on. Player is back in goal, but still, this leaves the game open with that kick, because Takala looks to be starting us off here with the kickoff. This is one of the big things. 2-possession games are always so much less than the contest of 1-possession games, and Lowe have the opportunity to put that one perhaps beyond doubt. But still, 13 minutes of play, you cannot count the Tigers out, especially with only 6 points in this. As that ball is short and bounces down there, I believe, for Barton Shaw. As he's wrapped up well there by Takala. And he'll play it back for tackle 1. It's just a short ball out there for Jackie Pritchard. And he takes the run forward, 29 out from their own line. Tackle 2 now, and a hard run from Sagaga at the backs, and he gives it up to Uelese. Ends up putting Savui out of his shoes. Pass goes out to Nico. Nico had the ball raked from him by Rabatoni. And it's a whistle for knock on. It was a one-on-one strip there. Great effort from Jean Rabatoni. He did so well with that one. And, you know, an opportunity for Patrick Nico to perhaps put the game beyond doubt. Chance goes begging there. And the Tigers will have a scrum feed about 37 out from their own line. And 20 in from touch.
Well, again, it was Uelese with a strong run, strong carry, pinpointed the smaller defenders, ran towards the sideline, found some oncoming support. And they were outnumbered, the Tigers, but they did a great job matching back up on defense, and they stopped anything from eventuating. But the Panthers, if they keep utilizing those targets, then we can see some more points being put on the board.
Yeah, it did seem like it was Zach Jackson that was coming off there with the shoulder injury. We have had to move out, I believe, David Eccleston to the wing in order to compensate for him. They'll play it back. Tutt is back on. And they go out to Hearn, and Hearn tries to get through, but he's tackled well around the legs by Teague, who's done well as a backup hooker here for Penrith. But he gives a pass out for Mauga. Mauga tries to break through here. Uelese has to be there and help defense, and does well to stop that challenge from really formulating too much. Ran out of dummy half here. I believe that's from Tavui. And he's tackled 36 out from the Panthers line. Here's Tavui there. Play back for Tut. Gives it out to Varga. Short ball to Kala. Takala puts it back to the defense, and that's about 28 out. One of players involved in that tackle from Penrith. Last tackle, Varga will put a penetrating kick in. Payne the lead man to it. Nico bobbled, but was able to gather it well, and now he'll try and break himself. Tries to take on Lee and Hearn, but he won't be able to get through them. But still got some good meters out of that run. Low from dummy half. He'll go himself. And it's Tatu, wraps him up well, one-on-one. Get to their feet. And a good run out here from the Yuffie. The Yuffie looks to attack that right side, but tackling just on halfway. Martin the man to make the stop. As that's a pass there from Teague to Pritchard, and the touch judge is running right back. He knew that he was going to be a forward pass, and waited on that call of a play the ball, and will be a scrum feed right on halfway for the GSR West Tigers. Chance to put the game again, put some pressure on, maybe get some repeat sets. The Tigers will be able to make an attack here into the Penrith half.
It was a careless mistake, wasn't it? A forward pass right on halfway, and he gives Tigers a scrum feed and a chance to do something creative with the football. They're only a converted try down, which is quite interesting to think, because the Panthers have been the more dominant side. But anything's possible in rugby league.
Yeah, it's been 4 tries to 2, but Penrith have been 1 for 4, I believe, on conversions so far, which could end up being their downfall. The run out of dummy half there from Tut ends up being stopped there by Yuffie. Plays it back now. Goes out to Malga. Malga will almost get a run through there, but he's tackled well there by Gallagher and Toapai. He'll play it back for Tut. Tut will pass it. Second receiver ball, Togamaga. Togamaga, long ball out there for Fisher. Fisher will get about 17 out. And inside the red zone now. And a penalty is sounded here. I believe it was holding down too long. Yep. Well, the appeal penalty is a signal. So we didn't come up together. You have to come up as 1 or 2. A quick tap is taken there by Lee. And Lee gets inside the 10. He might be over himself here. Not quite, is he? Oh, he is! He's gone over, and now it's a whole new ball game here. Lee just able to beat the defense off of the tap, and he gets through there for a try on the left side. It didn't look like he was over initially, but then he just got himself through. And now it's going to be Penrith 18, Tigers 16. And the Tigers kick to come. It looks to be a conversion attempt from Eccleston. I'm not sure, because the announcer said it was from Eccleston, but I think it was from 6th Braden Lee. We'll just need to get confirmation on that nonetheless. As I line up of a kick here. It's going to be a tough one out there. About 15 in from touch. And a long kick to be taken here. I believe it is Eccleston lining up.
And it was just a quick play. Play the ball. Eccleston attacked it hard. Got the football, ran over the line, put the ball down, and again, it was just the opportunity they needed, the Tigers, and they can take it, and they just did that right there. And you got to hand it to the team in bright orange. Perfect try. 18-16 Panthers. Kick to come. 18 points apiece. We have ourselves a ball game if he converts this.
Yeah, it'll look to be about 7 minutes left from that opening, from the restart. I believe it is Eccleston lining up here for the kickoff. We did initially credit Braden Lee with a try, but we just will need to confirm that one. It is Eccleston taking the kick, and it's just gone through. He's looking on that angle. It's a very tough one, but he's got it, and now it's tied up at 18 here between the Penrith Panthers and the GSR West Tigers. 7:12 currently on the clock. As low as jogging back. They know they want to put some points up. Now in the under 18s, the Laurie Daley Cup. For Penrith Panthers drew for Western Rams 18 all. But we see a mirrored result here with the GSR West Tigers here in round 3. Low, oh, he hesitated. That's because the ball came off the tee. Just has to reposition it.
When you're ready, Buckley.
I need to re-cue. Make sure they don't go off early here, and they do not. It's a good kick. About 25 bounces. Rabatoni just able to bobble it and grab it. But Nico was right there to make the tackle. It's been good work there from that challenge. And now a good run up from Payne. This is tackled about 28 out from the line. Lacey gets to his feet. To Vui. Running through here. Gets past Sagaga, but it ended up being wrapped up by Teague and Len. He plays it back. Tut the dummy half, goes to Varga, short ball to Carla again. They like this play. They love running through to Carla. It's such an oversized prop, but he's lost it. Unlucky there, 6 minutes to go. And now an opportunity for Penrith to have the ball. Bailey Lowe seems to be having a bit of a problem with some of the players, but he knows he's got to keep his players focused. He wants to win here, and they know they need one of the Panthers, especially if they can steal one here over the Tigers.
Careless play the ball in clutch moments in a game like this is going to be costly. Just under 6 minutes remaining, 18 points apiece, and the Penrith Panthers now have the football. Let's see what they can do with it.
Yeah, it's going to be, I believe, Barton Shaw there with the feed. Teague lined up in lock. He'll take it out of a scrum, and he gives it out to Elise. He's tackled well right at halfway there. The tackle there, I believe that was... I'm not sure who that was, actually. Witten. He gives it off there out to Niufi, and he's tackled well there. Payne involved in the challenge, as was Tavui. Tough time getting to his feet. Teague. Short ball first receiver from Sagaga. Good tackle from Tavui. Payne involved in it as well. The back line doing well to make those tackles. Teague. Ball out to Tuapai. One of the players is down there for Penrith in back play, but they won't stop play here, especially with Penrith on the charge like this. Turn through Tuapai down. He didn't seem to take much liking to that one. Low tries to go himself. Ends up being wrapped up by Rapatoni and Malga. Last tackle here. They'll play the ball back to Teague. He'll go himself, but Malga was alert and aware and wraps it up. And they'll call time off here. I believe, well, the signal is up for time off. It is called. 4:31 to play. It's Alfredo Elisi who's down here. Looks to be having that right leg checked at. On the bench and ready to come on here is Lachlan Whitehouse. And looks as if they seem to be setting up for the handover. There's a bit of a crowd forming here. Well, he is to his feet. I don't know why exactly they're forming a scrum here. There'll be a bit of confusion regarding that. It was 6 tackles. And the Tigers ready to play it. Final interchange there. Malga has come off, so they won't have him for these final 4.5 minutes. Time is back on now. They play it out to Takala. Takala tries to push through Toapai. Almost gets through there, but just wrapped up with the help of Len. Nailu Patea. Pass out from Tuck, goes short side there with Lee. He's able to be tackled there for 2 with Len and Teague involved. Tuck goes right side this time, out to Collins. And Collins with a charging runner to Apai. It is up to tackle 3, 30 out from their own line. Has the jersey wrapped over his head there. Passes it out for Varga. Varga shovel ball. Gives it out there for John Rapatoni. Tackled on 4th. Penrith player needs to roll away here, and he's lost it. He lost it on the Penrith player, Alesi, who seems to be okay. And now a scrum forms a Penrith with 3:45 to play. And the tick's down still. And an opportunity for Penrith very quickly try and form.
And that could be the match right there from Hearn. Another careless ball in the ruck. He just didn't play it properly. And the rest is history. And the Panthers now through Whitten and a scrum feed. They just got to hold on to the football. And then you'd think they'd get the W.
Well, it is still tied up right now. The good wrap-up tackle there from Aiden Fisher of the Appin Dogs. Does well there. Nico will get up and play a 38 out from the line. Barton Shaw goes short side with Donnelly. Donnelly tries to go himself here. It is wrapped up by Togomaga. Still got a good run though. And now they're back on the attack inside the red zone, inside the 20. Teague will send it out, but it's dropped there by Barton Shaw. And that is another error. Another careless one really with less than 3 minutes to play. The Tigers get the scrum feed now. Less than 20 out from their own line. So all the work to do to try and get the win, to try and go 2-1 up in the Andrew Johns Cup. Big opportunity for them now.
And he's had a phenomenal game until that moment, Barton Shaw. And you'd hate to think that it could be a costly error that would give the Tigers some points. But they're deep in their own end. Let's see what the Tigers can do.
And they've got the 5-1 set up here. The 5 on that open side. Feed will come in here. That lock was Fisher. He sends it out. He goes to Varga. Varga looks to go himself. Beaten the Ufi, but the wrap-up is done well by Ulysses. Is his held there. 18 out from his own line. Tavui takes it out of dummy half. Tries to go past the Gaga. Got through him, but Iolu Patea and Lennon hold him up well enough. They're pushing through here, the Tigers. Second tackle now. Tutt will send it left side as a drinking right. Goes out through Hearn. Hearn ploughing through some challenges. Almost up to halfway there. But a good tackle from Tawapai and Teague. That was Fisher, excuse me. As Tutt goes short side once more. As one, I believe it was to Martin. And Martin's tackled 37 out from the Panthers line. Goes right side Varga. Varga with a high ball. Lowe's having to back up to get underneath it, but he does well to make the grab. And now he tries to go left side through Nico. Through the left side. Can he get through there? They're swarming to him, and a good tackle from Braden Lee. 42 out from the line. 1:20 to play. And Varga is called for a penalty. He was holding down. Patrick Nico has earned one, and he gives him a pat on the back. Lowe just sends him off, says, all right. Big professionalism from the Panthers captain. He says, quieten it down. We're going to make sure we get this here. He looks to find touch here. There's a narrow angle here, so might not get much meters out of it. Still gripped well there, though. Flag goes up, 44 out from the Tigers line. Perhaps last set. Opportunity here. Niufi will take the tap. He wasn't far enough out at the mark. Got to take it back here, Niufi. Does take the tap there probably now. Gives it out to Len. Len has swarmed that. Offload out there now for Uelisi. Uelisi is tackled well by Hearn here. Collins was there to wrap him up as well. Play the ball back for Teague. Teague will give it back to Bartonshaw. Bartonshaw to Witten. Witten tries to go right through Connor Martin, but is tackled now. 20 seconds to play here. Goes out for Waialupatea, I believe that is. He's fouls into Tutt. He might set up for a drop goal here. 12 seconds to play. Plays the ball back. Teague, Lowe. It's the drop goal. Does he have it? Yes, he does! Bailey Lowe's hit it! The captain! It's a drop goal and the Panthers will win it! 19-18, what a play from the captain! Unbelievable scenes here at St Mary's League Stadium! What a play from Bailey Lowe! As the referee Brett signals full time. The score says 2018 with a one-pointer from Bailey Lowe, but it's given them an unbelievable win here.
Oh, it doesn't get much better, does it? Bailey Lowe with a lovely field goal to seal the deal for the Panthers. And I tell you what, if anyone deserves it, it is him. What a game, what a moment for the skipper and the captain of this Panthers side. But it could have gone either way, but the Panthers, they just had enough in them to get the W, and they needed it big time. You can see how much it means to them. What a win.
Yeah, so to tell you what that means for the implications to the standings, the Panthers will move to 1 and 2. However, they will still hold a minus 29 points differential. The GSR West Tigers are also 1 and 2 on a minus 3 point differential, which means the West Tigers still do hold the tiebreaker on points, the point differential still nonetheless. What an unbelievable game. I called the drop goal. I was thinking they're going to go for this, and they did go for it through Lowe, the captain, who had the try, who had the goal, and now he's got himself a drop goal. He scored it in almost every possible way, really. As the Panthers huddle up, they are so happy with this. But now what that means is the Panthers might be able to make a good playoff run here. Don't forget, for round 4, as I just take a look at the draw here, and we'll just go through the try scorers. Jimmy Donnelly was the man in the second half who scored the try as well. Bailey Lowe had one as well off his own kick. Also had, I believe, the only conversion for the side. Also scoring a try was Alfred Uelisi and John Sagaga. As well as that drop goal, that makes 19 points. And for the Tigers, 3 tries, 3 goals for them. I believe one try was scored by Braden Lee. Another, I believe, was... sorry, I don't actually have the try scores with me. We'll likely find out from the announcers here as the teams huddle up. What a beautiful sight that is to see them together. Don't forget, the Laurie Daley Cup is just coming up after this, as the Penrith Panthers able to escape with one here at home, 19-18. We would like to take this time to thank our sponsors and partners here for the Andrew Johns and Laurie Daley Cups, our major sponsor at SLE Worldwide Australia, our broadcast partner at Bar TV Sports, and our partners at Anytime Fitness and Victor Sports. We'll be back here at St Mary's very shortly for another exciting Laurie Daley Cup clash. See you soon.
Ron. Welcome back to St. Mary's Stadium. Under the clouds. Different story to last week, but we just had sunlight. It was warm. Today's a little bit cooler, I would say. And alongside me is Zale Atkins, the man that called the game before, the under-16s Andrew Johns Cup. And what a game it was. And to take you through the action before we get into the team list, I'll send it over to Zale. And what a game. It had everything, didn't it?
Yeah. All that sticks in my mind right now after that is just such an exciting finish. Bailey Lowe, who had a try earlier, had the only conversion of the match for Penrith, ends up putting through a drop goal with 7 seconds left to play, and just I'm almost stunned after that one. It was such an exciting game. The Tigers held the lead going into the half, and I was thinking to myself, the Tigers, they could end up going 2-1 and making a good playoff push, but this ends up not going the right way for them. The Panthers, if they can go 3-2 with those last games, we do know that they are headed away out to, let's see here, on round 4. They're going to be playing in Harden in a double-header against the Riverina Bulls. While the GSR West Tigers hit the Shell Harbour to play against the Illawarra South Coast Dragons. Those games will be huge for them. The Riverina Bulls haven't exactly looked in the best form lately, but they should still be able to provide a big challenge for them, especially considering the Panthers will be making that push later on. Nonetheless, I will leave it back to Keegan Kramer here to go us through the team list.
Ahead of this Laurie Daley Cup, the Penrith Panthers versus the GSR West Tigers. For the Panthers are lining up at fullback. We have Flynn Isaacs on the wing, Jeffrey Siolawa Ofoa, and Reese Wright in the centres. Mason Ayara, who was fantastic last week, as was Cooper Pereira. The centre pairings in the 5'8 position, we've got Sadi Sabalaban, halfback Brody Henderson, prop forward Tom Affleck with Romeo Apelu, hooker Taylor May, back rowers in Ryan Eisenhuth and Caleb Falanico, lock forward Hannah El Nature, on the bench Luke Jennings, Maverick Geyer, who moves from the second row to the bench for a bit of impact, Braden Magelli, number 22, 17 Dane Tarika will not be playing, and on comes 18 Xavier Falolika Savisi. For the West Tigers, a number of changes. Fullback Jacob Paulson. On the wings, Clive Hasselhan and Alex Mataya. Centre moves from the 5'8 position. Brandon Webster Mansfield with William Saliba. 5'8, we've got Jodeki Lamua and number 19, Ryan Mulvaney at halfback. Prop forward 20, Tukaha Kiriasau. At hooker, Stephen Dengate. The other prop forward is Brendan Bayliss. In the back row position, we've got John Elvis Olaga teaming up with Terrence Stanley Sillau. Lock forward, Michael Goggins. On the bench, Utah Togatuki, Ryan Wessel, Elijah Lala Kabau, Jack Burke, and Bryce Earnshaw, the number 18. Coaches for both sides of the Panthers, we've got Lino Salafai for the Tigers, Jeff Hunt. The referee for this match is Bryce Hotham. Touch judges Jack Greentree and Ethan Klein. And you were telling us before, Zale, that you're actually a ref, so you do a bit of sideline work. What can we expect in this type of game? And obviously the difference in stand, the difference in levels. This is a rep match after all.
Well, most of the time a rep match is, we have a level 2 guys who, when you start out ref, you're only going to start at level 1, but, you still need 18 months and a bunch of experience in order to get that level 2. All of these junior rep referees are level 2 certified. And one thing I should point out there with Jack Ritchie, he was a referee there in the under-18s game. What we see, which is a big difference between grassroots and this sort of level, is that these refs are all hooked up via microphone. They can speak to each other throughout, and it's very similar to first grade, how they will be able to talk to each other throughout the game and be able to really talk about things that they see. If they see a forward pass, and they can immediately call that without having to look around elsewhere. And in grassroots football, that often isn't the case, and they have to run out there and do things the old-fashioned way, for lack of a better term. And I should also just point out here, with just a couple of changes to that team list, it looks as if Laumua and Kiriaku will be starting, but Stanley Seelau has moved to a prop forward, and Lalakobo is coming off of the bench. Looks like Elvis Olawaga will be taking that final bench spot for number 21. The late change in. Don't forget, we did actually see on Friday, we were expecting to see number 10, Fioloaki Filau Katoe, but unfortunately he was injured last week. Doesn't seem to have come up 100% perhaps. And Coach Jeff Hunter decided to leave him out of the side for this week. The players are still in the sheds currently. We are waiting for them to come out. The Andrew Johns played, who just played in such an incredible match, currently congregating there at the tunnel as we wait for them to come out here and get ourselves underway here. Kian, you did get to see the Panthers last week. Was there anyone who'd like to highlight and tell us about, who could end up being the big player, the key player for the Penrith Panthers in this Laurie Daley Cup clash?
I was impressed with their halfback, Brody Henderson. He was outstanding last week, created a lot, very talented, smart thinker, and that's something I expect to see today. Centre pairing, I mentioned before when I was reading out the team list, Mason Iari and Cooper Pereira, two centres that are tough. They read a really good line. They run a nice hole. I expect to see the same story this week from the Panthers. This is 5th versus 6th. It's all on the line for these two clubs. Panthers 5th, Tigers in 6th. Dragons defeated the Panthers last week 16 points to 12. Monero defeated the Tigers 20 points to 16. Both tight tussles, close encounters. Who do you think will win today?
Well, when I got to watch the GSR West Tigers, it wasn't really a side that seemed to have that 4-point loss. It seemed to be a bit more open than that. A lot of it was part of their hooker Stephen Dengate getting a couple of last try late from the last minute of play. That ended up making the score a lot tighter, but then Ryan Mulvaney ended up putting a kick in that really didn't help him. He still had a great game, though. Mulvaney and Dengate, as well as Brendan Bayliss, he runs very hard. I wouldn't be surprised to see some big plays out of him, as well as Paulson and Hasselhoon. The two have almost combined as a fullback-winger duo, really. And the interchange between the two, when we saw Paulson had to go off, Hasselhoon would end up taking the fullback duties. And, those two have combined well so far and have fulfilled that fullback role quite well. Even without the previous iteration, we saw, Hasselhoon took up fullback in week 1, had the 1 jersey on. Ben Paulson had it in week 2. He's got it again here this week. But with that being said, the Panthers, they looked solid in their last game against Illawarra South Coast. But, Monaro, they are the only undefeated side. Well, excuse me, no, they weren't actually, because we have a Rams drawing with the Panthers in round 1 that has actually put the Rams at 3 points. But unfortunately, when we got the ladder from last week, we didn't actually get the change from the Western Rams and Riverina Bulls games. Yes, the Western Rams are in second currently, and our Colts 2-0, currently leading the standings. And after a tough loss to a top of the table side in the South Coast, we can't count them out. They were a very strong side against Penrith. I really feel like I could call a winner on this one, but I'm going to go with my gut here. I'm going to say Penrith can make it 2 from 2 here today at St. Mary's at home, and they're going to be able to take it. I'm going to say 2 points will be the margin at the end.
Well, it's tight. You've heard it here first, and we're not far away from this match. Obviously, in the Southern Pool, we've got Riverina Bulls, Monero Colts, GSR West Tigers, who we see today, Western Rams, Illawarra South Coast Dragons, and the Penrith Panthers. So it's a tight match. Scotty Drury makes his way up the stands, as Rory Cross-Jason does as well. We've got a few people featuring today. Some players who have been in and around for a while. And they're making their way up the stands at the moment for the Knights. A bunch of people wearing Knights polos.
Can I get a photo just from here?
They got a win over your mob last night, Zale. You wouldn't be too happy about that. Wouldn't be too pleased, but it's great. We're here to see some of the young talent, the breeding ground for one of the best clubs in clubland to bring through some talent, and the Penrith Panthers have done that for many, many years. GSR West Tigers, a lot of these guys are based in Mittagong, Moss Vale, Western Suburbs Club, Campbelltown, you name it, from Liverpool, Narellan. It's all happening.
And Minto as well, which has been a big factory for juniors in the past. Guys like Jared Hayne, Kristen Nilu, Israel Folau, they play for the Minto Cobras. And one of the boys is here, the second rower, Terrence Stanley Sealout, is also a player from the Minto juniors side. We'll be moving into the seniors very shortly, being a part of the under-18s as the players seem to be clapping them forward. Referee Bryce Hotham walks out with the ball here. Jack Greentree and Ethan Klein following behind him. Stephen Dengate leads the GSR West Tigers out into battle.
Well, it's a different size, isn't it? These guys are 2 years older than a lot of the guys who are playing the under-16s, really, and it's a different beast. It's a different game, and I'm sure these guys will get to that age as they go nuts. The Penrith Panthers, Andrew Johns' Cup side, cheering on their boys as they make their way out on the field. Both sides looking fresh, looking ready to go. And we can thank our major sponsor in SLE Worldwide, of course, Worldwide Australia, major sponsor, Bar TV for bringing the sports, Victor Sports and Anytime Fitness, They've been a part of the action from day dot. Round 1, we're only into round 3. A lot more footy to go. They're almost underway at the moment. The crowd's building up. A few people have left. Needless to say, the under-18s is in full flight. The Laurie Daley Cup. We're in for another big game of football, and there's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, just a correction here. It looks like Olawaga is in the 22 jersey here, rather than the 21, as we mentioned earlier, but he will be starting. Lalakoba has stayed on the bench, unlike what we initially saw with the lineup. But still, Feilakatoi was admitted late this morning, I believe he was. Didn't make a side as Panthers players, the reserve players, make their way to the bench. See Jennings, Gaia, McGilly, and Baulikus of VC as they get underway here. It's going to be Jacob Paulson to kick us off, and Keane has a call.
Quick start to the game from the Tigers. Big kickoff straight to the Panthers. Strong run through the hands of Sialofa. The Lofia runs up. Back to the row. They go through the Panthers, and the refs making sure they're all on side early. And they do that. Few quick touches. A nice hit up by Caleb Felanico. And he gets put down 40 metres out. Cloudy day here at St Mary's Stadium. A lot more football to come throughout the year. Obviously, the Intrust Premiership starts as well, which makes for some exciting viewing. The NRL's well and truly going. Is a nice kick. Deep there from Sublarbin. Goes deep in the in-goal. Perfect kick. Couldn't be more perfectly weighted. And they get out of trouble early, the Tigers, but that was a great set to start proceedings.
Yeah, Paulson just let that go a bit too early, I feel. I feel like he could have been able to recover that. Still a good kick from Sublarbin. We also saw some good runs there from Romeo Opolu. He's been quite a strong prop for this Panther side. You did point him out earlier, I believe. He has been strong so far, but now the Tigers force to give the Panthers a repeat set very early on. You really don't want this to start out. And we saw it earlier in Monaro. They couldn't really come back from that pressure.
See what they can do. The Panthers started off strong. Obviously, last week they lost their game. It was a tight tussle. And this game we can expect to see some differences as Affleck runs it up hard. He's got the guns to match as Gaia will take his place in the starting lineup. As we thought pre-game, I didn't mention it, but Gaia will start. They made a couple of late changes. The Panthers through Henderson out the back, and a tough knock on there from the Panthers. And Eisenhuth would want to have that all over again.
You never want to knock on like that, especially considering that the Panthers will now have to defend immediately afterwards. You don't get that break if you can pick up that error and force a scrum feed. Now, like Hobart takes it up. With the Panthers, you can't really have those forced errors. Last time, we saw that kept the Tigers in the game early on, and then they were able to get a lead at halftime, and then it ended up backfiring the other way, really. They need to make sure they keep themselves clean and don't really force themselves into too many errors as they go out to the right side here. Oh, the inside ball there for Paulson is wrapped up well.
Look, it's easier said than done, but I always say if you can hold the football, you go a long way to winning the game. It's creative play from the Tigers, but it was a forward pass through the hands of Jadeki Lamia, and it went straight to Paulson on the inside. And again, tough pass, but Paulson cleaned it up brilliantly, and that's creativity we'd like to see early.
Yeah, definitely was a good pass there in terms of the intention, but the execution wasn't exactly great. Paulson just couldn't really get himself to it early, but still, not taking it through well as May stands in at lock, will take the feed, and he sends it out to the right side now, and looks like we could have a try on here. Well, not quite. Pereira is wrapped up well there by Togatuki, and Mattaya is taken out of play.
It was great defensive set off the scrum feed. Thanks to a good bit of work from the Tigers. Team effort first. Puts them out of bounds. But again, the Panthers try to get a bit creative. Work it through the back line. Had no room to move. And they get tackled out straight to the Tigers. And again, a few minutes into this match, obviously we've got 35-minute halves. So 10 minutes less than what we'd normally see in an NRL match. And an extra 10 minutes does make a big difference to the tired bodies.
Yeah, definitely. We saw the fatigue definitely come into play for the GSR West Tigers during their round 2 clash against Monaro. Ended up creating a couple of tries though for Stephen Denge, the hooker. We'll need to keep an eye out on him, as well as their possible substitute dummy half, Michael Goggins, as they play it out here now. They're going up through number 8 there. I don't quite remember who it was, as they see a penalty is blown.
Bad penalty. They wouldn't get off the tackler for the Panthers. And it was a strong run by Agamoa. And he makes a big difference to the side early. So we've had a lot of late scratchings, a lot of late changes. And he finds himself on the football field. And you wouldn't want to tackle him, because I certainly do not. If he gets a full head of steam, well, you better watch out for the Panthers. Big body, even stronger run from Takoa Kuisau. And Dengate scoots himself to the dummy half darts. Makes a strong carry. And the Panthers, they've got to be wary. A lot of strong plays here from the Tigers, and they will make a big difference to this side. Strong run by Goggins, and he gets forced back by a brilliant tackle from May. Small man put his body on the line, out the back. They move the ball through Mulvaney. 35 minutes out from the Panthers line. Here's the Tigers' chance. So they'll go short side, through the hands, chip kick over the top. Lovely recovery from Paulson. He'll go himself, but it gets caught from the T-shirt. And he throws a hospital pass offload, and it gets a knock on. But I've been impressed with Paulson to start this half.
Yeah, it was almost on there for Togatuki. If he could just have gathered that one, they could have gotten down to an early lead, and they definitely want that, especially after their start last week, as you see a great hold up here from the West Tigers. They've definitely been on the attack early. They don't want to, be alleviating early to see a penalty blown here.
And the Panthers give away a penalty early on in this first half. And the fans are on the edge of their seats, because there is a lot of expectation for both sides of this game. Early stages, 5th and 6th place on the competition ladder. So this is what it's all about. High-intensity rugby league, and we love to see that. That's why we're here, and that's why we love how the Country Rugby League's put together this competition. This format is fantastic. A number of junior kids coming through. Throughout the whole competition, we'll be seeing some of the best talent. 550 players, 52 games played in 23 towns across the state. So it's great to see a great initiative, and it's even better to see that the Cups are named after Laurie Daley and Andrew Johns. As the Tigers will shift the ball out the back. Brilliant play through the hands of Paulson, out the back to the winger in Hasselhun. But instead of going over himself, he stopped, went sideways and gets taken out. Why didn't he just keep going, Zale?
Yeah, I don't think he thought he had the angle in there. He just thought the hole closed too quickly, and it ends up being a scrum feed. But he might have actually gone out of the in goal there. Nonetheless, referee Bryce Hoffman, has ruled for a 10-metre scrum feed. We have seen, a bit of the chop and change lineup really from this West Tigers side, but it's allowed so many of these representative kids, get this experience here to play against, the best team from around the country in New South Wales. And, even though this is arguably the most central team, we see teams from the Penrith group and the Western Suburbs district. We still have players from Group 6 from areas like Appin, Mount Annan. One of the players here, Alex Mataya, the number 5 for GSR from there. We still get to see a lot of great country representation, and we definitely saw that, from all these sides really, whether you're from Riverina or North Coast or, from the Western Suburbs of Penrith, like some of these players are. You definitely get to see the best of football here. And we see a kick off here. This is from Henderson, and it's deep, and it just holds up there for Hasselhun, and it just goes out of play.
It was a great kick by Henderson, but two players that have really impressed me this game, Mulvaney, the halfback, and Paulson. The combination they've got together is something I haven't seen in this competition so far. Last week we called the Panthers and the Dragons. Did Zale was doing another game, and it's just a different ball game when you've got two players that read each other's minds brilliantly, smart players, and they are the danger signs to this match. As you see the early stages, 26 minutes to go. Penrith versus the Tigers, 0-0. We're still waiting for the first points, and there's no doubt they will come soon. It's been a high-quality affair, and that is set to continue through the big man, John Elvis Uluaga. He'll get put down. He's got the dreadlocks. We've seen some interesting haircuts. He's got the mighty Tapau flow. There's a ball out the back. Step inside they go, and a big hit. An even stronger run from Matai. And he gets put down. The Tigers looking slow early. Out the back. They're getting tired. Let's see what they can draw up. Coach Jeff Hunt has them primed for the occasion. Nice short drive for a lot of these guys. I'm sure that's not going to differ throughout the season. There's the sausage sizzles going off. You get your steak sandwiches and get it all. As Mulvey puts a kick in, cleans up through the hands of Hasselin. Nice pass straight to the hands of Judeki Lamua, and the ball keeps going. Oh, wow, what a play. Chip over the top. Kick chase was perfect. And they follow up nicely. Cut out pass over the top. It's as easy as you like, but it was a forward pass. And Webster Mansfield, well, it was there for the taking, and he just threw a quick forward pass out to the winger in Matai. And again, it's an opportunity that went begging.
Yeah, it was a great break there for Hasselhoon. He ended up getting some great meters going early. You see a penalty blown here. This is going to be for offside. We're just going to quickly touch on that play here. It looks like a bit of a shoving match going on here. We'll continue to talk about that little play there. It was a great kick from Mulvaney for Hasselhoon. And Hasselhoon, I don't really think he should have gone to the left side there with Webster Mansfield. He had Kiriasu on his right side and could have easily gone that way instead. They had the numbers. They could have definitely put that one over, but it's unfortunate here to see Bryce Hoffman making sure that things stay under control here. We've got to see those sorts of things, not... So we did see another penalty was given against the West Tigers there for the push from, I believe it was Olowaga. We will need confirmation on that, though, because we did initially hear that he was wearing the 21, but he's got the 22 on. Nonetheless, that will be taken here. And we've got to see some great play here from the Tigers. We've got to see good offensive creativity from Mulvaney and Hasselhoon. Let's see if the Panthers can match that sort of effort.
Well, we're seeing a generational change in rugby league. A lot of players swapping positions. Free-flowing utilities left, right and centre. Webster Mansfield's playing in the centres, but he chimed in there at 5'8", and he threw the cutout pass. So it just shows where you can play. Especially the other night, Sam Thaiday was playing hooker. One of the biggest hookers we've ever seen play the game. So Wayne Bennett's obviously seen a bit of talent in him, but it's good to see Sammy playing a different role towards the back end of his career. As Henderson now creates out the back. Goes Maverick Geyer, throws the offload. Short ball there through Flynn Isaacs, and Henderson picks it up. And the Panthers now have a chance. 8 metres out from the Tigers line. Let's see what they can do through the big man and Maverick Geyer. Takes off for his dad and MG. Just as entertaining as his dad is on radio for Triple M. Ball goes under the post. Strong there by Affleck. Can he put it down? I think it's a try. And Affleck, well, he'll score. Bustles his way over. And we like to see that early from the Penny Panthers at home. 4-0.
Yeah, Affleck was just a very strong push. You've got to be able to use your legs in those sorts of situations. And that's where he drives that power from. You push through the hips and get over that line. Make sure that you can get through those Tigers tacklers. That's what we saw there. Also, I do have to put on some big credit there to Brody Henderson with some great offensive creativity on that left side, involving himself with Flynn Isaacs. You need to see that out of the halves, and we see it throughout here as we see one of the Penrith players, Braden Magelli, I believe it is, coming on here as we see number 5, Reese Wright. I believe it was a goal kicker in round 2 last week. May have been goal kicker in round 1. Still has 4 points to his name so far of his 2 goals. And he'll try and make it free here as the Panthers run back from the kickoff. We should also point out here that this is a interesting chop and change side. We do not actually know whether Olowaga is playing. We initially said that Igamau was ruled out. Now he's back into the side. Wasn't named in the team list we received on Friday. And we also did see him not on the list on Saturday, but some late changes made here for this Tigers side. Perhaps some players got injured, couldn't make it here. These are only kids. They probably have to be driven around here by their parents as the kick goes up and is through from Reese Wright. The Panthers 6, the Tigers 0.
It was an easy kick. He couldn't have missed that. He probably would have got it with his eyes closed. But Reese Wright, straight between the sticks, and the Panthers are up 6-0. And we must mention that for these kids, it's an opportunity for them to move up the ranks, to potentially play first grade, and that's where they're all from. And we'd like to thank Bar TV for providing us the access to witness some of the best young talent going around. And you can see all the games on their Facebook page and their website, crlnsw.com.au. And they'll do that each and every week as Henderson gets underneath it, one of the smallest men on the paddock. And Saliba will put him down nicely, drives him backwards with thanks to the halfback Mulvaney. And a penalty gets blown for the Panthers. On the tackle a bit too long. And here they go. The opportunity comes for the Penrith Panthers to attack the Tigers field. And I like what they'll see. 6-0. We'll have Coach Lino Salafai pretty ecstatic with how things have progressed so far this game. Just wasting a bit of time. You can hear the Tigers coaching staff yelling, hold the line. Hold the line. Don't do anything but hold the line. Strict instructions. Maverick guy takes it up. Put down in a dangerous tackle. And they'll get a penalty. And that's not what we like to see in junior rugby league, let alone any rugby league.
Yeah, it was still a good call there from Bryce Hoffman. Just was trying to get him down too quickly there. The tackle from Igamauer and the number 13, Michael Goggins. We did just get confirmation from the sideline. Number 22 is John Elvis Olawaga. He, of course, was a late change into the side from the team that we received on Friday. But Igamauer also a late replacement, very late actually, as Henderson takes a tap and runs it up for Ropaloo.
The best sideline eye in the business, and one of the best commentators in the business, Zale Atkins, alongside me as we go through all the action. The Penrith Panthers 12 metres out from the Tigers line. It's time for them to put some more points on the board. Those are the instructions. Sublabin goes for a short pass to the hands of El Nature, and he'll get put down. Only 8 metres out. Here come the Penrith Panthers. Henderson dummies, goes himself, scoots hard, turns, finds the try line. Brody Henderson. That is a great little try from a little maestro.
Yeah, it was a classic halfback play, the show and go. As he runs across field, he was trying to spread out the numbers. It looks as if Bryce Hoffman has called time off here. No, it seems to be all right. He was just trying to make sure that the kickoff was lined up probably. Oh no, he's actually called out one of the players here for the Tigers. Stephen Dengate here. Just having a talk with him here. Just wait on that as we see, just talk about the Henderson try. That was beautiful stuff. You know, it's classic halfback play. Spreading the defense out, sending it along that left side, trying to earn some numbers. But nonetheless, we're going to see that throughout perhaps. Because we see it from Mulvaney as well. He has those sort of playmaking abilities. We've definitely seen it there out of Henderson, and we'll try and see it out of some more players. Dengate, a good playmaker here. You know, we're just having that talk to by the referee Hotham. Nonetheless, does seem to be all right. No infractions were given for that one. As we're going to see Penrith line up here with Reece Wright. Looking to put them up 12. Will be a big opportunity for the Panthers to take the advantage, hold this initiative, and really try and turn this into a win as it just hooks away to the left. Penrith 10, GSR West Tigers 0.
It was a little bit of a tougher kick there for Reece Wright, but not by much, just to the left of the upright. Sprays it left, and the Panthers 10, Tigers 0, just under 20 minutes remaining. And we are attracting a lot of attention from the fans. They must be liking what we're doing. We're enjoying this call as much as you're hopefully enjoying listening to it. And one thing I will like is what these under-16s Andrew Johns Cup players are taking with them after their talk in the sheds. They all get Subway. What a way to sum up a big performance. Bailey Lowe, field goal to win the match. And the Penrith Panthers will be hoping to make it 2 from 2 today. 10 points to 0. Panthers over the Tigers. 18.5 to go in the first half. And it has absolutely flown. That's how high quality this match is. This outfit is nothing short of a strong matchup. It's all happening out of dummy half. They go through to the Panthers, making some early substitutions. Put down 40 minutes out from the Tigers line. Here they go out of dummy half. We'll find Affleck, try scorer today. He scored the first try. Prop forward. It's not often we see that happen. Usually out the back line they go. Sublabin on the inside. Oncoming runner in Mason Iaria. Tackled short. They're creative, the Panthers. Inside, outside. Here comes Henderson. Puts up a crossfield kick. Goes deep and long. Underneath the safe hands of Mulvaney on the wing. He probably didn't expect to be there at the time. Gets himself out of trouble, and it's not often we see a halfback on the wing there.
Yeah, well, sometimes we see it when they aren't really considered to be the best defenders. We see a big hit up there from Williams to Lieber. It was a late change into the side of round 2 and is now on the starting side for round 3. Nonetheless, with those halfbacks, you've got to get up there, get to that ball quickly, and make sure that you can shut it down, especially on a wing. The reflexes were definitely in there with Mattia taking up a run. Send out an offload now here for Igamauer. Just ended up being tripped up there. I believe that was Iaria, yeah. Good tackle there from him.
Short ball straight to Paulson. Found the half break. Gets put down, and he's chiming in as best as he can. And it's making a big difference to the Tigers outfit. Bomb goes up. Underneath it goes the fullback and Flynn Isaacs. Breaks a few tackles. Keeps going. Finds the dummy. Breaks the line. Gets put down on halfway. St Mary's Stadium. What a facility. And they're providing us with everything we need to get this game flowing, get this game going. They've got a long year ahead of them here at St Mary's Leagues Club. The ropes course to the right of me. And the entertainment value is an all-time high here. This facility as a half break through Eisenhuth, but he throws an offload behind the back pass that goes probably about 5 metres forward. And the Panthers will be happy. At least they've been creative.
Yeah, you still want to be able to create plays here. That's one of the big things with Penrith. They need to be able to do that. They need to try and find that creativity. And even if they're not finding it, it's still developing their skills. These are only under 18s players, there's still probably 2 or 3 years until they end up finding themselves in a first grade side or a reserve grade side. They're definitely going to look to put the effort in with that. As we went on the Tigers' feed. We did talk about some areas that this is an international ground, don't forget. We've seen a game like Malta versus Lebanon played here with Lebanon having that great performance recently in the Rugby League World Cup. It's a great venue here, and it's definitely good to see such a good turnout. This grandstand is mostly packed here, and we've got a fair amount of people out on the hill as well as a long pass out there to Paulson on the wing. We did talk about that Paulson-Hasselhoon duo, switching between fullback and wing. Hasselhoon is there. They go out through Mulvaney and now for Kiriakou.
Again, it was Paulson creating that half chance for the Tigers, and you feel as though if points are going to come, it's straight through the hands of the fullback in Paulson. Out they go from Dengate straight to Mulvaney. Cuts it out, going short side. Didn't want to go infield. And Hasselhoon will get put down by 2 players, 2 Panthers boys. Up they go through Saliba, and a knock on, and the Panthers will clean it up through Mason Iaria, and the Tigers, all these costly areas are creeping into their game early.
Yeah, so now we see a run up here through the 22 Majelli, who has to wear a bigger jersey because all the other ones don't fit him. Nonetheless, still a careless error. We saw it a lot as well in the first half between GSR and Monaro from both sides, really. It's just going to be about making sure you keep them out of the game. Make sure you hold on to that football and execute the passes right, execute those plays, get some points on the board. We'll see if Penrith can do that in this set.
Here come the Panthers, steaming through. Goes a try-scorer in Affleck, blue headgear. We've seen that. It's quite prominent in the Country Rugby League. Out the back they go. Nice cut-out ball to the corner. And that looks like it's a try to Sialawa Ofoya through the hands of Eisenhuth. He reads it out beautifully. And the Panthers, they score another try, 14 points to 0. And it's becoming a bit of a shellacking, as they say.
Yeah, unfortunately, we did see a similar result in round 1 of the Tigers. Losing 60-8 is always so demoralising, and they did come back well, put up such a great fight against Monaro, but still, they need to make sure that they can get themselves back together. A lot of hands on hips currently. It's not good to see that morale. Nonetheless, a great play there from Sialawa Ofoya. He did well there to get that cutout ball from, I believe it was Sublabin, who sent that one all the way out to the wing, and he was just left unmarked really and had a fairly easy time getting that one through. We'll see them line up for a kick from the sideline. I believe it'll be right to take it again. Still now 14-0. Looking possibly at 16-0. Big opportunity here for Penrith. Yes, it is right to take the kick. I'll just take you through this one. It looks as if Lala Kobau and Burke are ready to come on here for the Tigers bench. Looking down here at the sideline. Right, steps back, puts the boot through it. Does he have the distance? He does. And he's put it just through. What a great kick. 16-0.
Oh, mammoth kick there from Reese Wright. Cleans it up from the sideline. And the Tigers are yet to score. It's a far different outfit to what we saw last week for this Penrith Panthers team. They're much stronger, more confident in the way they go about their business, and we can see that 16 points in front of the Tigers, who are nil. They have not scored a single point this game. With 12.5 minutes to go, the Penrith Panthers 16, Tigers nil, and it just keeps getting better and better. And just because we're seeing the Panthers and the Tigers doesn't mean we're not going to see any other teams with an allegiance to first-grade outfits. St George Laura Dragons, Canberra Raiders, Sydney Roosters, Newcastle Knights are all aligned with teams competing in the Andrew Johns and Laurie Daley Cups. Fantastic initiative from the Country Rugby League and New South Wales Rugby League in general. And as a long season ahead of us, round 1 is underway in the NRL, of course. We've seen some big games. And we've still got another 25 rounds after this. How are we going to keep up? Well, that's because we love the game of rugby league as some substitutions are underway for the Tigers. Jack Burke will take his place on the football field, and they need some fresh legs. So they need to make a difference, the Tigers. Henderson, Sublarbent, 40 metres out from the Tigers line, out the back through Isaacs. And a hit from the number 5 and Mataya, who just picks up his legs and throws him all over the place like a rag doll. Panthers marching forward, using their legs, doing as best they can. 5th tackle, you hear it here first from the referee. What can they do? Sublarbent's going to call for it. Dummies on the inside. Grubby kicks it. Well read. Paulson taps it backwards. Mulvaney. Well, Mulvaney just cleans it up, and I tell you what, it was an unlucky bounce, but they're lucky to get away with that one, the Tigers.
Yeah, I think that was actually touched by Brody Henderson there. So but they're going to rule goal line dropout here. I don't think he did actually get a hand of that ball. Of course, Bryce Otham had the angle, was right near that ball, and was not touched by Henderson as a result. Just saw it up there initially, I thought, oh, this is just going to be an easy 20 tap, but no. Instead it ends up being a dropout, but it is marked by Henderson, and they'll go out to their lock here. Hana El Nashar. I believe he is from Lebanon. Not the only other Lebanese player that we see. It's great to see, the players from all walks of life, being able to represent their local sides here. With the GSR West Tigers, the Penrith Panthers, even if you're the Illawarra South Coast Dragons, we see Sublarbin almost able to dance through inside the 10. I've seen players from Lebanon, from the Pacific Islands, Fiji, Samoa, Tonga. Some players come over from intercontinental. We've seen a player go over here from dummy half. I believe that was a number 9 there, Taylor May, who's got himself over. I'm not sure if it was. Yes, it is, according to the announcer. So now Penrith 20, West Tigers now. GSR West Tigers, that is. And it just seems to be getting worse and worse with the greater southern side.
Well, they're tied bodies on the football field. And just under 10 minutes to go, as you said, 20 points to 0 to the Panthers. And these tied bodies are just going to get worse and worse for the Tigers at the moment, because that was one of the easiest tries Taylor May will score in his career, assuming he just keeps going and going and going. 18s, hopefully we'll see him through to first grade in no time at all. And it's a far easier game for the Panthers than what they had last week. And it's just getting too easy for them at the moment. As Reese Wright, St. Clair's Junior, will line it up just to the right of the uprights. It's about as easy as it'll get. He hasn't had any hard kicks besides the one in the corner. 10 metres in from the sideline. And he got that one in. Let's see if he can get this one in as well. 2 points for the Panthers, 22 points to 0. And this is not what the Tigers coach in Jeff Hunt would have asked of his team, no doubt about it. And there's only one way up from here, and that's just to be able to put some points on the board, because it's slow at the moment for the Tigers. And they're just a bit depleted in confidence and morale and a lot of energy.
Yeah, one of the big things, if you're having to make those errors early, it means you're having to play more defense. And when you have so much time, so much time of possession going against you here, as we've seen, Penrith, they seem to have like 70 to 30 perhaps. We don't have the stats on hand, of course. But nonetheless, when you're having to play that much defense, you're having to tackle more, you need to expend more energy. You don't have the opportunity to make those points, you'll get more fatigued, and it will continue to have pressure put on you. That's one of the big things why repeat sets are so big, and we saw it in the second half of Monaro GSR. So many repeat sets, and we see a good run here from a halfback in Isaacs.
It's a very strong run. And the Penrith Panthers on halfway, it just feels like they've had all the possession. I've not caught a single orange jersey in probably 2 or 3 minutes so far, because they just can't get their hands on the football. And the Panthers are doing a great job converting on their opportunities, being smart about it as Henderson chips it to the corner. Well, that's what he's aiming for anyway, as Paulson lets it go close to the in-goal line, and he gets driven back from a few Penrith players, and you can thank the safe hands of Maverick Geyer for forcing him back. He used his muscles, and it's just dedication, isn't it? The Panthers are up for this.
Yeah, definitely. Geyer and the kicker Henderson as well with Mason Iaria. It's been a bit of a problem for Paulson. We saw it actually early in the first half, pretty much off the first set. He ended up misjudging a kick and didn't really get himself to it. So, a slight improvement on his positioning, you'll always have kickers looking to the gaps if Henderson and Sublime and as a dropout is taken. They've definitely been able to pick them apart with a kicking game and, get those repeat sets, and it's really going to be helping the Panthers, as they could end up creating another chance off of it.
Well, the early stage, we saw Mulvaney work really well with Paulson. We haven't seen that since. Granted, they haven't had the football, but they need to start getting it. As a nice run off the right foot, back on the left goes May. And he's put down 3 meters short of the Tigers line. The Penrith Panthers can smell it. They can smell that victory subway. And I'm sure they'll want the 4 points earlier than that. As Henderson out the back goes Isaacs. In support, number 22 goes Magelli. St. Clair's Jr., 2 meters short of the line. The Tigers have to be wary. They might concede a few more points, and they give away a penalty. Well, is it early stages? Can we blame this on teenagers needing more sleep? 10:30 kickoff. I mean, when I was their age, I was probably sleeping until about 1 in the afternoon. So this is different for them. Early games, obviously they have to drive pretty far, I suppose, but that's no excuse. As the Panthers through the number 13 and El Nature. He's had his hands on the football a little bit. Short balks, goes himself, burrows down low in Felanico. And he's held short of the line by the looks of things. Yeah, it is. I think it is.
Yeah, just looked to advance, but he didn't get the double movement call because it's still up above the ground. We see the pass out to May through to Henderson. And now a ball out here for Iaria. Did he get himself over? No, just ruled short there by Hotham. He plays the ball back. Oh, a little jink there from Gaia. And he's got himself over. 26-0 now for Penrith. And, well, we did talk about earlier how, the Tigers have just been on the back foot the whole time. They've always been having to play defense, and we see it there again. Big opportunity here. Time off is called. 5 minutes to play. Looks like one of the Tigers players is being called out here once more. Nonetheless, great attack on that left side from Penrith. Henderson combining well with Iaria. I believe they've got Wright playing on that wing. They've had, good combinations with Affleck, with Falanico who almost got over there, and Maverick Gaia as well. He's been, well, I have to say, he's been an absolute maverick for the Panthers. And it's really given them the front foot opportunity as Wright lines up for the kick. He's 3 from 4 so far. Let's see if he can make it 4 from 5.
Oh, what a comparison. Just like a Maverick Gaia. So we've got a chance now, try time for Mav. And he was actually meant to start on the bench. So to see him start this game was a surprise to not only the fans, but for a lot of people in and around surrounds of rugby league. And he was great last week, so it's no surprise as Reese Wright lines it up. Just left the upright, cleans it straight through into between the posts. 28 points to nil, Penrith over the Tigers. And the only thing that can go wrong for the Panthers is a lack of concentration. And we've seen some crazy things happen in the lower grades in rugby league. And let's just hope for the Panthers' sake that's not the case.
Yeah, well, I've seen 28-3 leads blown in sport. I don't think we'll see this 28-0 lead blown here. The Tigers, they're definitely going to want to instill themselves with some morale, with some energy. They're going to say, hey, we can't get shut out in this game. We have to put some pressure on now. It does look like they're actually having Mulvaney line up on the wing here with Hasselhoon into the centres, but we might see that change later on. Nonetheless, the Panthers, they've been on the attack throughout, and it showed. They've had the points. They've had, all the momentum. Everything really seems to have gone their way. With these players, as we've seen, that time it's going to be a penalty for incorrect play of the ball. Good call here from Bryce Hotham. They seem to crack down on it. We saw them called a couple times in the under-18s game. Well, actually 7 times in the under-18s game last week that I saw between GSR and Monaro. And that time it's called there. Just can't feed the ball through the legs. Got to make sure you play it properly. And it looks to be Paulson who aims to find touch.
And the Tigers, well, it's just getting from bad to worse as Paulson couldn't find touch. Went straight into the hands of Isaacs. And when you're not on, you're not on. And that's what the Tigers find themselves with today. And it's just been a disaster. For Jeff Hunt, well, how does he turn this team around? Well, that's a good question. And both teams needed a win today, and it just seems as though Panthers, well, they had a better week of training, a better week all round, as Cialoa, or Lofia, with the football, 40 metres out from the line, and it's just getting tougher and tougher for the Tigers. Just where do they go from here? Well, nice offload. Straight to the hands of the number 12 and Falanico. Will he go himself? He'll lose the ball. Steps the fullback in Paulson and just keeps going. But he loses it 2 minutes out from the line. And Falanico, well, it's just tough for the Panthers at the moment. I mean, that's just a tough break. But when they're up 28 points to nil, you just assume that maybe some things can afford to go wrong for them.
Yeah, it was actually a one-on-one strip there. I believe it. Well, no, it is being ruled a Tigers feed. It was Togatuki who ended up making the play and forced that ball out. Great play from him, but unfortunately, Tigers couldn't quite capitalise on a possible advantage. Nonetheless, they still will receive a ball here. Well, they need to feed it. You know, the Panthers again. It's all been about their attack. Now it's going to be on the Tigers here to try and get some momentum with Iolawaga, trying to generate that for them with a very solid run down the left side.
This is their chance with just under 2 to go in the first half. Panthers 28, Tigers 0. And it doesn't sound much better than that for Panthers fans. They're licking their lips. They want more. You can hear them screaming out, we want more points. 4-6, you name it. As the Tigers get a penalty, let's see if they can make the sideline on this kick. Can they kick it out? That's the question that everyone needs to ask. As Paulson, yes, he does it. Doesn't matter if it went 2 meters behind him or 2 meters in front, as long as he gets it out. That's what they're after. At a minute to go, Hunt just can't wait. Coach Hunt, I should say, just can't wait to get them back into the sheds and just talk to them. The only thing that can be said, I should say, is start the game again. If they can score 28 points in the first half, we can certainly score 28 points in the second half. It'll take a mammoth effort. A lot of changes as the Tigers moving the ball out the back through Webster Mansfield, and he had to get his hands on the football a bit more because he started off playing in the centres. There's a knock on there by Mason Iari, just came out of his line trying to get the interception and would have just topped off their morning. The Tigers, at least they have a whole day to make up for this. Out in Manhattan and Campbelltown way. That's where they're all from, Liverpool. I'm sure there's some exciting things to do out that way. Mulvaney, Grubber kicks it through Mansfield. Deep in the corner, they'll have to clean it up. They can't quite get there, the Tigers. And the Penrith Panthers will get the ball on the 20-metre line for a touch. Let's see if they get enough time. 8 seconds remaining in the first half. Penrith 28, Tigers 0, and they're just going to wind down the clock. Straight away they go to the sheds. And just before we take a break, I guess all you can be said is Penrith, 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 Panthers.
Yep. It seems to be all I'm saying. Panthers, Panthers, Panthers. It's all been them. You know, we've seen some great attacks from them, with creativity from Henderson, the big run from their forwards, and Affleck, and Falanico and Eisenhuth. You know, Maverick Geyer as well has been unbelievable. You know, we've seen, and you know, it just seems like the Tigers can't generate momentum. And that's going to be one of the big things in this game is the momentum. You know, we'll see it throughout the under-16 and under-18, the Andrew Johns and Laurie Daley Cups. You know, it's all going to be about being able to maintain that momentum and being able to convert that into points. Panthers have done that beautifully. Tigers haven't been able to generate anything. And we're going to definitely have an eventful second half. Hopefully the Tigers don't get too mad at themselves about this. They shouldn't be kicking themselves. They've had good performances. It's just been on another level here from Penrith. After their 0-2 start, it was only, 0-1-1 start, I should say, with their draw and loss. They're definitely showing that they are an outfit to be reckoned with, and perhaps they can make a late run for the semi-finals. Well, should just go through the try scorers here. Tom Affleck had the first one. Brody Henderson had another. We saw, I believe it was Maverick Geyer. I believe the other tries were scored by Jeffrey Sialawa Ofoya and Caleb Falanico, who was able to battle himself over. Reese Wright, 4 goals from 5. A good conversion from him. He now has 6 goals on the tournament and has done himself a good amount of favours there. Yeah, we get ready for the second half. I would like to thank our sponsors and partners. SLE Worldwide Australia, our major sponsor, our broadcast partner at Bar TV Sports, and our partners at Anytime Fitness and Victor Sports. Don't forget, if you missed any of the action or want to watch it live, you can catch it all on Facebook, YouTube, and on our website, crlnsw.com.au. We'll be back shortly with the second half. The Panthers 28, the GSR West Tigers 0.
And we're back. What a first half it was for the Panthers. 28 points to nil over the Tigers. The Tigers, well, they've come to the second half as they're not out yet, and no surprise when Coach Hunt wants to talk to them for a bit longer after the first half they've had. It's been a struggle for them. They just haven't had anything go their way as they just walk out. Well, let's just hope they're not miserable and they come out with a different attitude. Here they go. They start running onto the football field. The Panthers, well, they'll be pretty happy. There's not much they need to change as Alino Salafai would be ecstatic. His boys are well in front, 28 points to nil. And, well, even if they play safety first football, it doesn't make much of a difference because they're up by so much. But the Tigers need to start throwing the football around, and it's the only thing they can possibly do to get themselves back into this match. As we have a few more matches today in Country Rugby League, a few going on at the moment as well. It just keeps getting better and better each week for Country Rugby League.
Yeah, exactly. If you do want to tune in, we're actually on any games live now. We're going to have the rest of our games at noon and also the Sunday game between the Central Coast Roosters of the Newcastle Knights Development Squad as we get underway here. Brandon Webster Mansfield takes the kickoff and gives it off to John Elvis Olawaga. We definitely will see the Tigers. They seem to come out with a bit more energy now. They see the run up from Goggins. They'll look to put some points on the board, look to try and come back and rally and perhaps pull the Panthers off their game. But still, Panthers, the name of the game will likely be conservatism that's just something you don't like to see there. They start off with an error with Ryan Vessel. It was a late change out of his side last week, and now we go on zero tackle with Cooper Pereira making a crossfield run.
And the Penrith Panthers are on the attack early. They're growling. They know what this is all about. As Henderson dummies it on the inside, cuts it out to Maverick Geyer, throws an offload out the back. Well, there's still chance in their arm, the Panthers, even though they're up by 28 points. As May gets put down, they lose a few metres. But they've still got four or five tackles on their hands now, the Panthers. There's a crowd screaming for more. They want it. So do the Panthers, boys. And the black and white today, duo nature. Straight in front of the sticks, 10 metres out. Scoots at a dummy half. Goes Falanico. And it looks like he's put the ball down on the line. No. He's held centimetres short. The Panthers, through May, here goes Henderson. Cuts it out the back to Sublarbin. Dummies on the inside. Dummies himself. He gets held short of the line, but got to give him some credit. The 5'8". Sublarbin on the 5th. Cuts out pass to no one. And Eisenhuth, well, he had no other choice but just to throw it out wide, but Ophoia couldn't quite grasp the football. And he gets cut out of bounds for the Panthers, gifting Tigers the football. And we still like to see them attack, and that's what we're saying.
Yeah, it was definitely a little good run there on the fourth tackle from Sadie Sublarbin. We saw the dummies given off there to Eisenhuth and the dummy to Pereira as well. Unfortunately, he couldn't capitalise on that, and the cut-out pass from Eisenhuth just unable to find Cialara before him results in the handover given to the Tigers.
And this is their time, the Tigers. They need points on the board, and the clock's ticking down. If they don't score soon, game, set, match. But the Panthers throw a nice big hit from Falanico. They mean business. They're running up in defence. They're still trying. They're not sitting back. Great defensive tackle by Eisenhuth himself. And the number 4 in Cooper Pereira. And the Panthers are all up for it as a nice strong run by number 5 in Alex Matatia. And a penalty. And it's just a flop. And it's the second effort from the Panthers just gives Tigers the penalty that they must desperately need.
Yeah, just a second effort there on the tackle after a little bit of a break from Mattia. That's unfortunate there for the Panthers. They've been fairly disciplined throughout this game, but unfortunately now they've given away a big opportunity here as Paulson will be able to find touch. And they'll have a set 40 out from the Panther line. Big opportunity here. They're going to put the pressure on here. It's going to be number 15 there, Ryan Vettel to take the... number 17, Jack Burke will take the tap. He'll give it out to Olawaga. He puts in a good solid run. Tigers will look to be on the offensive throughout this and look to perhaps put some creativity from Mulvaney and Webster Mansfield.
Olawaga's played big minutes, but another bad error from Olawaga in the play of the ball, and it gives the Panthers more possession. And they just can't afford that at this point of the game, the Tigers. They need to make sure that the scoreboard's ticking in their favour if they have any chance to win this. So go one of two ways, and at the moment it's just going the Panthers' way here out west. in St Mary's. The Penrith Panthers, they love it. So does Purr, just in front of halfway. Great kick to the touchline. That's probably one of the slowest taps you'll see. We're just making sure that they play it well. Tap it quickly. It's fella Nico. Straight over the 30-metre line. And a lot of these guys, if they keep playing the way they're playing the Panthers, they're up for the best and fairest medal. The Andrew Johns and Laurie Daley Cups to pay tribute to two of the country Rugby League's life members. With a few of the old heads, a Sublaban dummies and goes himself. Try time, Sublaban. And it was just too easy. Caught the players shifting their bodies, and he just attacks it hard, and a great try from the Penrith Panthers.
Yeah, we saw previously the show and go from Sublaban almost worked last time, and it pays off this time. Just finds a hole in the defense. We saw it previously. It was exposed, I believe, by Callum Boa-Scott it was, the other number 6 for Monaro, and we see it again. We need to be able to close down on those creative halves and Sublaban, and if they can't do that, they're going to be continually punished throughout this. Also, just on the previous play, we had at the start of the set, we had the tap kick, which just took a bit of time. It's because they have to play from a certain position. They have to be in line with where the ball went out. I believe they can take it back, but it also has to be 10 in from touch, which you can see here with the little field markings there. For 10 in touch is marked. They have to take it from that mark, otherwise, it's an infraction and it would result in a scrum feed. So they make sure that they play it from the correct spot. As we're going to see Reese Wright try and make it 5 from 6 with this conversion attempt. Lines himself up. Looks like Iger Mauer is out of position, actually. He shouldn't be out there. But nonetheless, Wright should be able to put this one through, and does. And that will make the score Penrith Panthers 34, the GSR West Tigers 0.
We're finally seeing two of the star players in this competition. The half spring for the Panthers, Brody Henderson and Sublaban, really stepping up. Last week they were good. This week they're even better. And the Panthers, off the back of those two players, they're making this lead insurmountable at the moment. And the Ron Lanesbury, I should say, back to the life members of the Country Rugby League Andrew Johns Cup medal and Tom Nilsson Laurie Daley Cup medal will be awarded to the best and fairest players in their respective competitions. So the Tigers, well, it looks like there's no coming back for them at the moment. And I don't want to say it too early. It's 28 minutes to go. Anything is possible. But the Panthers are just too good in certain areas of this football match. And they just can't compete with it, the Tigers. They're just out of their lead at the moment. And we did say there was 5th versus 6th in the competition. And it doesn't look like that. It looks like they're miles ahead at the moment, the Panthers. So they look to get out of their own end. Out of trouble. Goes Brody Henderson. Dummies. Scoots himself. Gets put down 50 metres out from the Panthers line. Danger times for the Tigers. That's not what they want. There's more ball from Iaria. And we'll throw the ball backwards straight into the hands of the Tigers. And this is their chance now with a full set of 6 looking to attack the Panthers line.
Yeah, with Saliba ended up receiving that ball. They try and run it over Iger Mauer. A bit of trying to do a bit too much too quickly here. We see it fairly often. The young kids playing a pretty fast-paced game. This one has slowed down a fair bit, but nonetheless, you've got to really try and make sure you cut down on the errors. Don't just give it away. With drop balls, with offside penalties, with incorrect play the balls, which is definitely enforced up here in the Laurie Daley Cup. We see Webster Mansfield goes out the back to Paulson, doing a little show to Eisenhoof, got past him, and went past Gaia, but ended up being tackled almost 30 out from the GSR, so the Panthers line, excuse me. Webster Mansfield puts a high kick up. Underneath it is Mataya, who took it away, and that'll be last touch off of him, which was on in a scrum feed. Oh, actually, knock on Penrith is a call from Bryce Hoffman, excuse me. And that'll result in the Tigers feed. 50 now from the line. Big opportunity here to put some points on the board.
This is what they need, the Tigers. They're feeling confident. You can tell that it's building because they haven't had many chances this match. As the young halfback for the Tigers looks like he's having a bit of a breather. He needs a break. He looks like he's in a bit of trouble in Ryan Mulvaney. And when they're most creative players off the football field, you just wonder, where are these points going to come from? Mansell would have to move back into the 5'8 position, or now he's probably going to go to halfback. They put some fresh legs in Bryce Earnshaw on as well. The Thermir, so I should say, Tamor Roosters Jr. And the Tigers steamrolling their way over the line. Can they sniff it? The post moves. It jiggles. But he loses the ball. And that's through the number 8 in Salpo Igamawa. And the post moves. And so does he, because he is moved for the fact that he did not score that try. And it's not great for the Tigers. 34 points to 0. Penrith over the GSR West Tigers with 25.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, that is just terribly unfortunate there. I was going to say, if they wanted points, they're going to put it through their forwards. Guys like Elijah Lalakoba on the 16, Saibo Algamayo on the 8 don't have any Brenda Baylison for this side. I believe he was the omission, but has resulted in Algamayo coming back in. You know, other guys like Ota Tokatuki, we can't count out him. Sublava goes down, and that'll be a penalty for a high shot here. Nonetheless, that's where the Tigers are going to be able to create those points if they can get them. It's still going to be very difficult here for them, as Henderson will look to find touch here from 30. And he gets about 20 metres on it before it goes over the sideline.
And he does just that, 50 metres out from the Tigers line. They need the big defensive stop. 34 points to 0, 24.5 minutes to go. And the Panthers have just been so impressive in every facet of this match. They're just too good when it matters most. And you can feel and you can suggest that more points will be put on the scoreboard any time now. As the clock's ticking, and so are the brains of the Panthers, boys, because they're ticking. They want more points. They know they do. As Falaniko find the short ball, and they're still moving forward, the Panthers, through El Nature. 2 minutes out from the line, the Panthers. The Penrith Panthers. Well, what can they do? As history tells us, 4 points is on the board any second now. As Isaacs goes himself over the line. Can he put it down? Yes, he can, we believe. He's held up. The Penrith Panthers through Isaacs. Great bit of work. Steps on the right, back to the left foot. It was a nice effort from the Panthers. And you got to hand it to the Tigers. They did a good job holding them up there.
Yeah, also a great call there from Jack Greentree. He stood out outside of the in goal, made sure that the call was held up. They try and go out here through the backside. The Tigers have definitely been able to put up a bit of goal line defense. They can drag down Sublabin here on last tackle. They can. Well, his last tackle now, excuse me. 11 is Eisenhuth, and it's over. Well, just love to see that from the second rower. You know, Eisenhuth has a great bit of power to him. He can just charge through an undersized half or centre and get himself over the line, and that's exactly what he did there.
It was too easy. Strong body, fends off. Tigers defender puts the ball over the line. 23 to go. The Panthers 38, Tigers 0. And it's getting from bad to worse to a complete demolition party. And the Tigers, well, they just can't compete. They can't hold up. They don't know how to turn this game around, and it's probably a little bit too late for them now, the Tigers. All they can ask for is put some points on the board. Just hope that the differential for and against might help their cause. As Henderson lines it up, right, we'll take a break. Conversion successful. No, it's not. 38 points to 0. Penrith over the Tigers, and it remains that scoreline for the moment. And the Tigers will have got absolutely no rush now. They won't be rushing to kick this ball back to them. If anything, they want this game to be over. They want to go to the sheds. They want to shower. They want to carry on with the rest of their day at the moment, because the Panthers, well, you can safely say they've almost sealed the deal.
Yeah, I was hoping there that I wouldn't have to see another 40-0 scoreline. Well, as a Manly fan, I probably would, but nonetheless, still, we're definitely going... Oh, a little short kick here from Earnshaw, but it's taken well there by Eisenhuth. We just want to touch on the kick there. Just went a bit wide to the right, so unfortunately we'll miss that one as Eisenhuth loses it. The play continues to go on here, so I'm just trying to slow this one down here. With the Panthers, I would like to just make a correction earlier. I accidentally credited a try to Caleb Falaniko. That try was actually scored by number 9, Taylor May of Minchinbury. Just confused two of the Minchinbury boys. In fact, the only two ones that are being represented here. You know, we see them from kind of all walks, really. You know, a lot of St Clair players, and Elna Shah, in McGelly, in Wright. St Mary's players, Flynn Isaacs, Jeffrey Seolawa, or Foyer here for the Panthers. And on the other side with GSR, you know, Picked the Magpies have a couple of players here, Stephen Dengate and Michael Goggins. They were great in round 2. Haven't really been able to step up here, though, unfortunately. Jack Burke for Mossvale Dragons in 17. You know, Campbelltown Workers with William Saliba, number 4, and the Campbelltown College with Brandon Webster Mansfield and Saipo Aigamawa. And I believe Tukaha Kiriaku is Collie as well. Mainly confirmation on that. Nonetheless, you know, it's great to see, you know, all these local sides getting representation. Even if it's from, you know, other walks. And it does seem like one of the players coming off here, Eisenhoof, with an injury. And just being clapped off here by the crowd. That was what the hold-up was for, and time off. On comes Maverick Gaia once more. Just one injury fact. It's only going to change number 4 of 10 here for the Panthers as the Tigers prepare for scrum feed.
We don't like to see that in any form of rugby league. Eisenhuth comes off. He's currently in a bad place. Let's hope that he's okay. As Maverick Guy takes his place on the football field. Replace one, put on another. And it's a different game, isn't it? When Guy gets onto the football field, that's what we like to see. We hope all the best for Eisenhuth. As the Tigers now with the football, 21 metres out. This is their chance. The GSR West Tigers with a chance to put some points on the board. They need some points. They need some confidence going into next week. Because at the moment, they've got absolutely nothing behind them, no backing, no nothing. They're just going to get behind themselves. Feel confident they can score some points, and they receive a penalty. 8 metres out from the Panthers line. 20 minutes to go. Still a bit more football to be played. It's tough times for the Tigers as the Panthers are making a few substitutions that will come on in the moment. Savisi and in the number 10, Opelu will get their chance to do something with the football as the Tigers just lose it. And the Panthers will pick it up through Pereira and he'll just throw the ball to no one. Creativity sometimes doesn't prevail.
Yeah, I thought that was actually knocked on for Pereira. Then the ball spills out. Aigamawa was back there, can't pick it up because it was offside. It was unlucky there for Jack Burke, who was trying to pick it up, ended up kicking it backwards, and now it's spilling into the hands of the Panthers. Anderson taking an attack down the left sideline. He's giving it out to Wright, who is free and running. Hasselhoon won't catch him. He's going to score under the post, make it 42-0. Simple as you like, and after an absolute mess of the play there from the Tigers, it ends up resulting in a score down the other end. Very unfortunate for them. But Wright has himself a try to go along with his 7 goals so far. So good amount of points there. It looks as if we're having another talking to here from Bryce Hoffman to a Tigers player. Perhaps some choice words were said. I'm just going to have a talk to him. Perhaps explain the call and make sure that it's all understood.
42 points to nil. We'll soon be at the half-century stage in no time at all. And without a cricket bat, we'll have to hold up the football to the crowd and acknowledge what a performance they've put on. The Penrith Panthers, well, some fresh legs. Savisi, who hasn't played any minutes so far this game, well, you'd hate to think that some fresh legs going on could cause even more damage to this Tigers team. Under 20 minutes to go, Penrith 42, Tigers 0. As Henderson will line up with a conversion right in front of the sticks, and you would suggest that 2 points going their way. And that is the case. 44 points to nil in this Country Rugby League encounter. And you're seeing all the action through Bar TV, providing us the live stream that you can find on Country Rugby League's Facebook page and website, crlnsw.com.au. And in the Andrew Johns Cup and the Laurie Daley Cup, we'll feature 11 teams taking the field in each age division. 8 of the 11 franchises currently linked with NRL clubs. And there's a lot of talent on display in the junior ranks, as Afoia with a tough little tap back, and he almost made that look like one of the first errors we've seen for the Panthers in this second half.
Yeah, Siolao Afoia was just able to get his hand onto that. Just on the substitution we had earlier, Vauliko Savesi, he's a utility back. He played in a fullback role, I believe, last week. Maybe not actually on the wing, I'm not too sure on that. But nonetheless, he's come on here for Reece Wright and should be able to perhaps give it just might just be to make sure that they can defend that right edge. That they might look to threaten down with Kiriaku on that right side. It's been definitely all Penrith. We see Henderson try and put a chip kick in, but Saliba looks to have a lead off there and will gather it nicely. Still, you know, with the country rugby league, we've definitely seen, you know, some great talent, even in a side that hasn't performed to, you know, as you'd expect from a side like with GSR, West Tigers. You know, players like Ryan Mulvaney, Stephen Dengate, Michael Goggins have shown good creativity. You know, great muscling from players like Elijah Lalakaba with a penalty blown here for offside. Yeah, it's great to see them, and you know, that's not to take away from any of the Panthers talent, because they are ahead right now. You know, Sadie Sablab and Brody Henderson, Flynn Isaacs and Taylor Mayer have been a great spine so far for them. You know, even though they did start 0-2, sorry, 0-1-1, I should say, I haven't been able to register anything in the win column. They currently sit in 5th spot outright, and could perhaps make that into even a 3rd or maybe 2nd spot. I'm sitting on tiebreakers here with Riverina and Illawarra South Coast currently 1-1, and it's in 4th and 3rd, and Western Rams currently in 2nd on 3 points as they drew with the Panthers in round 1 and had that victory last week. You see a great run here. That was a good one there. As we mentioned him earlier, Goggins does well here. Burke puts the hands up there, was looking for something, nothing given, goes himself through dummy half, does himself good run there. And he's tackled by Sublaban. Igamara a dummy half, goes out to Webster Mansfield, throws a dummy, but Penrith have all the numbers on that side. Little offload there. Togatuki might be over here. He had the ball pop loose, and yeah, it's ruled knock on. You're just going to get the ball down in time, and that'll result in a scrum feed for the Penrith Panthers. Tigers coach, I believe, on the sideline, Jeff Hunt, just has his hands on his head and does not look happy with the performances seen out of his side.
More importantly, they just can't catch a break, the Tigers. The knock-on just sums up their afternoon, really. And with 16 to go, Penrith's leading 44-0. And that's set to change. And the only way that's changing is going up. More points on the board for the Panthers and the Tigers. They've got to regroup, talk to themselves throughout the week, and find out how they're going to win some football matches. Because they're really struggling this year. It's Henderson on their own line. They're moving the ball early, the Panthers. And they do so through Alofia, and they do that just fine. Or Salisi. Out the back they go, another offload. And the Panthers marching their way downfield. And the Tigers, well, they're just bouncing off every single defender that comes their way. And right, well, he does it again, and they just can't tackle. They can't tackle, and May gets put down halfway. And the Panthers are still going through Isaacs. Well, this is a non-stop play. It's almost musical chairs, this time with the football. They're just moving the ball around. They can't be stopped. As soon as they decide to tackle, that's when the ball stops. Second tackle now for the Panthers. And you can smell it. Another try, another 4 points on the board. Penalty for the Penrith Panthers. And here they go. The Panthers want the 50. And you suggest that they would go very close.
Yeah, I was going to say that the penalty there was just on Burke, I believe it was. He just put the elbows down in the tackle, and you can't really put any aggressive moves on there. It's just, you can't do that. And, you know, a good call here from Bryce Hoffman, making sure that the game stays clean throughout, especially in a blowout like this. You never want to see the other team, you know, get grubby or, you know, get very antsy as a result, as we see them go out to the left side. There's, oh, it tripped up Gaia well there, but he got to his feet again. There's an offload. Got it out there, and now they're going to attack, and it's over for Opalu. The pass was from Jennings, but it got to him well. And well, this should be the half century, as you said. They might raise the football now. And the score currently sits at 48-0 with a kick to come.
Well, it's getting to a stage now for the Tigers where you just think to yourselves, well, this has been tough. We have a long way to go. It's as simple as that. And they do. Only round 3. Number of rounds to go, and the Panthers, well, just doesn't get much better. There's not much more they could do today that would make Coach Salafai ecstatic after a tough loss last week. It's a different side of the paddock. As Henderson lines it up. Can he get the 2? No, he can't from in front. So one of the easiest conversions of the day, and he just can't convert it. Penrith 48, Tigers 0. No change to the scoreboard after the try. 13.5 minutes to go. And the Tigers or just where will these points come from? Can they get their first points on the board?
I think they can do it. They've just had a lot of problems recently. It doesn't seem like we're actually running with Paulson on the field anymore. They actually have a Kiriako on the wing there. No, he's just moving into the centres there as Mattia moves into the wing spot. Nonetheless, I think they've lost him at some point, and from there they just haven't been able to generate anything. As you see, it's Olawaga who to take the kick, goes for the shot towards the sideline, trying to perhaps pin them there. There's a little dance across from, I believe this is Gaia, as he goes through the tackle, or his tackle there by Iga Mauer. Almost got through it, and Mayo almost got hit there. Luke Jennings trying to burst through there, but it's tackled well by Kiriakou. Does well there to wrap him up. May runs out of dummy half. Deep Iga Mauer, Asselhoon, and Olawaga, and Webster Mansfield has the hand on the ball there to be able to stop the offload. Play it back now. Little inside ball there for Isaacs. It was Olawaga who stopped the initial onslaught, and then Iga Mauer who was able to stop them there. Jennings, long ball out for Henderson. He sends a cutout ball, but it's through the hands of Iaria. There's out to regather it. Did go backwards, so that's fine there. Gets through the defenders, and he's got to go over in the corner, it seems. The touch charge, I believe Jack Greentree on that sideline seems to like it, so there should be a try, and is 52-0. The half century's up for Penrith with a kick to come from that left sideline. And that is 9 different try scorers so far for Penrith. Everyone seems to be getting their hands on it here.
It doesn't stop. It keeps getting worse and worse for the Tigers. 52 points to nil, and you would think that they'd get close to 60. As Affleck's looking to take his place on the football field, he's coming on for the final 10 minutes or so. Off the bench. Surprisingly, Paulson's off for the Tigers, which is surprising because he's been one of the most attacking players. Offensively, his prowess has been amazing. He's switched on. And the Panthers, they'll get the W. And it's been a clinic. It's been nothing short of that. It's been a clinic of everything you want in a football side. Discipline, offensive ability. Defensively, they've been sound. It's not conceded a point until now. It's been unbelievable for the Penrith Panthers. That was a line-up a kick 2 minutes out from the sideline, roughly. And the Panthers, they'll just fall short as well. Unsuccessful for the Panthers. It's hard to tell who it is, but we believe it is Flynn Isaacs, and he can't convert it. 10 minutes to go. Breathtaking, the quality of football we're seeing from this Panthers side. And if the Tigers don't get a spray after this game, I'd be very, very shocked.
Well, I don't think we're getting a spray. I think when you have a demolition job like this, really, but all you have to say is, look, we're outclassed. We've got a lot of things to work on. You know, I wouldn't be angry with this side, because the last thing you want to do with, young teenagers like this is demoralize them with, making them cop it. That's really, some boys will be motivated by that. I'll understand that. They get fired up after, when someone fires at them, they're wanting to fire back, but some of them will just be down on themselves. And then they might be, turned away from the game. We don't want to see that, But it's all about the different motivations that we'll see as we see Isaacs just try a bit of an offload, but it was forward, intended for upper load, so the Tigers will get a scrum feed. We've got less than 10 minutes to go, and the sun has come out now, so a bit of a possible glimmer of hope for the Tigers of being able to play in the sun here rather than having it be all dark and gloomy. Has been so far. Is that right? Eisenhuth coming out of a locker room seems to be okay. That's a good sign for him. He'll likely be sitting on the bench for the rest of the game.
Well, there's no chance we'll see Eisenhuth come back on. They are winning by a lot, the Panthers, as a big fend off from the Tigers, and off they go. One of the best chances they've had of the game through Togatuki, and he'll just fend off the smaller man in Iaria, and it'll give the Tigers a big opportunity now to attack the Panthers line And the Tigers like their chances. They feel good about it as the ball goes out. And that's what we like to see. Through the hands of Webster Mansfield, just kicking it out. Can the Tigers put some points on the board now?
Yeah, it was a great fend there from Togotuki off a pass from Kiriaku. And then it was Falaniko, I believe, that ended up stripping the ball away from Togotuki's hand as he had it. And Bryce Hotham smartly called a penalty there with the assistance of a touch of that sideline, Ethan Klein, as Kiriaku tries to attack through them. Is he playing a lot of forwards out there? So I think that's a problem. The backs just got too tired, and now they've got to use these big forwards, guys like Togotuki, like Olowaga, like Agamawa, who tries to charge through here past Opalu, and she's ended up being brought down here. Burke looks to that side, ends up signaling right. He'll go that way. Now they go out to Webster Mansfield. Then out through the 18, I believe that's Earnshaw, and now they go Mattia. Now they go to the, I believe that is, I'm not sure who that is out there. It might be Saliba on that wing as Mattia tries to attack through, gets inside the 10, sends a ball out the back for Saliba. Is he over? He is! He's got there! And the Tigers will not be shut out. They will not be denied. William Saliba gets over. The score is 52-4, the kick to come.
They finally get the points on the board, the Tigers. 4 points, looking to convert it to 6. And they'd be ecstatic. Finally get some points on the board, and that's what they've been after. They know they're not going to get the result. They're not going to get the points. But what they will get is a bit of self-satisfaction. 6 points. Can they put 2 extra points on the board? Can they convert it? Convert it between the sticks. 52-4, Panthers over the Tigers. And I'll give them some sort of happiness because it hasn't been a day to remember. That's for sure for the Tigers. 30 metres out from the line. 10 metres in from touch. We'll go roughly 5 maybe. Give them the chances. In the background we see the Knights warming up and the Panthers for some of the lower grade action. So the grandstand's almost full. Not many more seats left. As Webster Mansfield finds the kick, but he finds it off the upright. 52-4. Penrith over the Tigers. Just under 6 minutes to go. And you just get a feeling that the Panthers inside are glowing. They're glowing because they've won this successfully. There's been no competition. As the ref blows the whistle, kick off for the Panthers. And here come the Tigers to the big man in Oluwaga. He'll get put down 5 minutes in from the touchline. You can see a few more games throughout the day on the Country Rugby League Facebook page. You'll see more action of these lower grade teams. 16s and 18s. Rugby League's in a great place at the moment. There's a lot to love about it. And it's only going to get better throughout the years as we see a doubleheader tonight in the NRL in Perth, which is exciting in the new stadium. Expecting a big crowd, as you would do. The Tigers need to move the ball, and they find a short pass. Oncoming runner. The hands of Goggins. And Goggins goes short. Webster Mansfield just has to put in a chip kick through. Cleaned up nicely by Pereira. And they get tackled short. Penalty gets blown. Penrith with the football now. 4.5 minutes remaining. And this is their time.
Yeah, Earnshaw was a man who just seemed to get off a bit too early there. You know, it didn't seem like the kick was just like hesitant a bit, I believe it was. And then just the missed time ended up resulting in that penalty there. And so now the Penrith Panthers will get a bit of field position back. You know, just over 4 minutes to play currently. And you know, I look at the Penrith bench here. One of the players coming up here, I believe it's Opalu. They only had to use 7 of 10 interchanges, which is shocking in a 70-minute game. They've only had to use that many. Nonetheless, with less than 4 minutes to play now as time ticks away, it's just going to be a matter of, just making sure they seal the game. Make sure they keep themselves safe, but they don't need to keep themselves safe. Instead, Affleck has just decided to run through here. Hazelhoon will challenge him one-on-one. The Togotuki is the man to run him down inside the 10. Now he'll play it back. Goes back for the man, Sadie Sublab. He has a try already. Can he be the first player for Penrith to make it multiple? Not quite on that play as he gets driven back here And the ball is lost. And so now it'll be a scrum for the GSR West Tigers as the game starts to tick away.
Tick-tock, tick-tock. Goes the clock. 3.5 minutes to go. Penrith 52, Tigers 4. And it's getting from bad to worse. A lot of line breaks for the Panthers. And believe it or not, prop forward Tom Affleck, who did score a try to start off proceedings in this match, breaks the line. He's got some speed to burn. And that just continues. And we'd like to thank our major sponsors before time runs out. SLE Worldwide Australia, Anytime Fitness, Bar TV Sports and Victor Sports. For everything they've done for this country rugby league program. These young kids on display for everyone to see. And that's exactly what we want.
Yeah, I just saw there during that play, I think it was an error there out of the scrum, came off one of the hands of the Tigers players, and so this will be a Panthers scrum feed just outside the goal line, and now the penalty here. I'm not sure on the signal. Nonetheless, Sublabin will take the tap. With just over 2 minutes to play, he'll give the ball off to Falanico. He'll try and get himself over the line. I miscredited try to him previously. Let's see if he can get one here. One on that tackle. Sends it out. Henderson to Gaia, and now a penalty here. Incorrect play the ball called against Falanico. Good to see that they're cracking down on it. Good to see the penalties when they're called correctly. And they were definitely here. Good call here from Bryce Hoffman. And we did also see that from Brett Abe in the under-16s game. The shot landed there, but the contact was high. He's going to call time off here. And now it's going to start brewing up here. The players are running in. They're going to have to break this up. This is unfortunate to see. We did talk earlier how we didn't want to see the Tigers get grubby in the past. I didn't want to see a fight breaking loose, but unfortunately these things happen. You know, tension's boiling over here. It doesn't seem like they're going to be able to break this up for a little bit. Time is called off for what it's worth. Some of the crowd encouraging the fight, but it seems like they've broken themselves off into little groups. As the fight will disperse, they'll send them back to their huddles. 1:34 to play here. Just see them. They're calling them back. And Matthias seemed quite furious there. He's called back. Seems like it's Pereira out there on the Tigers' part. He's trying to make peace there. And he says, "Tell them both to walk away." The officials will confer here. Looks like Taylor May as well was getting a bit heated and involved. He just Bryce off and making sure he can take control of this. You know, we see him conversing with the touch judges Jack Greentree and Ethan Klein. I'll call the players out here and deal with them appropriately. You know, it's good to see that even throughout this, you know, the referees are staying disciplined. They can make sure that these players don't boil over into something worse. You know, understandably, the tensions were high. They weren't happy with, you know, a big shot being laid out there with, like, very little to play for, in all honesty. The shot was delivered by Miguelio Sinclair, and then, you know, Tigers players understandably take a section to it, you know. The other teenagers, the emotions will be running high. It looks like it's going to be Henderson and May, as well as Sublabin being called out here. Sublabin is actually sent back, so it's just going to be Henderson and Taylor May. They're going to talk to them both. And we will see a sin binning here on Taylor May. He'll head back. And it looks like... I'm just calling him back here, just to make sure he understands what's happening. Now, it's upgraded. Sent off. Taylor May perhaps gave a few choice words that weren't, you know, taken offense, but Bryce Hoffman was not happy with, and we'll send him off, and May will head back to the sheds for an early shower. We hear Sublabin talking with Bryce Hoffman here. Well, I don't actually hear him, unfortunately. The referees are not mic'd up here. But Sublabin trying to explain the situation here. And he's going to go off as well for a sin binning. Of course, this will be for the rest of the game with with less than 10 minutes to play here. 1:34 left, of course. And we'll have a talk with Brody Henderson, the captain. Anderson will be sent back. Now the Tigers will be sorted out. Looks like they're calling up Burke here, 17. We can't quite get a look at the numbers here, from the angle we have, and he'll also be sin-binned. Frankly, they're all being sent off independently. You don't want them walking together and then kicking things off once more. That would be very poor as he'll walk back to the bin. And it's going to be a penalty eventually to the West Tigers as they're pushing in the ruck. That's what initially caused the calamity. As Tom Affleck hands the ball back. Iga Mauer is going to look to find touch here as they head back. And they get a good kick in there. Almost hit one of the Panthers players walking down here, but nonetheless is out. 35 out from the Tigers' own line. It would be Kiriakou to take the tap. They'll run it forward. And he's driven back there. Good drive there from the Panthers players, but still, it's kind of find some last-minute energy here. Iga Mauer drives it forward, tackled by Affleck. He gets to his feet. And Galley also there was to assist him to tackle Lalakoba. We didn't see much of him. He was great last week. He's going against Monaro, but unfortunately not seeing many minutes here, perhaps not in the best of shape. As that's a Mansfield, ends up dropping the ball forward. Is able to dive on it. And Affleck just makes sure to say, hey, we've got this. Let's not do anything stupid. High fives being exchanged. Maverick Gaia pretty content with himself as looks like the scrum will not pack. They'll just stand there. Gaia's going over to shake hands for boys. The referee will blow for full time in 6 seconds. The scrum will not pack as the siren sounds. He puts the hand up, and that'll be the end of it all. And that will be Penrith 52 over the GSR West Tigers 4 here in the Laurie Daley Cup. Was a game marred at the very end there, but still a very dominant performance from Penrith. They'll look to definitely improve on this later on. Don't forget they will also be heading to Harden, and they'll play at 4 p.m. just before 4 p.m. against the Riverina Bulls, while the GSR West Tigers will look to take on the Illawarra South Coast Dragons in Shell Harbour, the under-16s game from 11 a.m. As we are wrapping up here, it is 52-4, the final score between Penrith and West Tigers. Kian, any final words?
Yeah, it was a tough game. Penrith too good, 52 points to 4. Thank you for listening, everyone. We hope you enjoyed watching it. Thanks to Bar TV. We'll catch you soon on Country Rugby League.
Change that up. What an ordinary game. Bring him back and get rid of him. Or do you reckon? Yeah, done.